I'm a depressed CEO. I'm no one. I'm alone.
When you said to me, I've never met a crisp I didn't like, I was like, that's poetry, by the way. That's such a nice thing to say. It was like, some people would be like, oh, some fruit or, nothing with additives or whatever. But you're like, crisps are great, aren't they?
Do you know two things that I love crisps? For every major life event I've ever had, there's been like a crisp buffet. So like birthdays, hen do's, everything. I always have a crisp selection. Leaving do's at work.
Yeah.
Because people know that I love crisps.
Yeah.
So that's part one. Part two, the way I say it is I think, and this podcast might well prove true, I think I'm much better at the written word than the spoken word. I think I'm much better on text than I am in person.
We're going to have to stop this episode. Made a grave mistake.
You've asked the wrong guest.
No, mate. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Amy O'Hara joining us today, of course, from Warp Films. Your latest position. Latest
and newest position, yes.
But first time I ever met you was probably about half a bottle of rum deep behind the decks at Threads.
Yes, which is a really wonderful full circle thing, which we'll come to. But I would say DJ at the time. I can't DJ. You can DJ. I can play one song after another with a slight kind of blur in between.
But I think I've learned over time that it doesn't really matter how good I've spent a lot of my time and energy over the last 15 years learning the technical side of it and trying to be really good at that. But actually the spirit of the thing is the most important thing. Do
you truly believe that?
I think so, yeah. Because if you watch somebody that's having a truly wonderful time on stage and they're enjoying everything they're doing, which is what your DJ sets used to be, it was you just play whatever you wanted, whatever made you feel good. That energy goes into the crowd in the same way. It makes the crowd feel the same way that you're feeling. Whereas if you're watching a moody,
serious.
Yeah, moody, serious looking kind of, bold man, beat match things perfectly. It's great for people that are like, oh, I really like the way that things are beat matched and kind of in key. But he looks kind of stressed.
And a little bored.
Yeah, and a little bit bored sometimes. Yeah, exactly.
And I was never bored.
You definitely were never bored. You were you and Vanessa together were it was beautiful chemistry to watch you DJ together as well. Did you always do it together? Was it?
Pretty much. It's so funny. We both were in this competition for this club night called Threads, and they wanted a new DJ.
Yeah.
And I rocked up and having never done it before, lost the competition. Vanessa absolutely rightly won because she was actually very good at it. But then through time, we just started hanging out, became friends and had sort of similar music taste.
Yeah.
So we did it together for a long time, and then she kind of got better and better and more professional.
Yeah.
And I started doing it in the back of bars and at friends' parties and stuff.
Do you still touch deck?
There was almost a slip of the tongue there. Do I still touch deck? Yes. I did my friend's wedding actually.
Did you?
Do my friend's wedding in Spain last year, and it was absolutely mega.
Amazing.
And I ended up, he was like, just do an hour because you should be able to come and dance.
Yeah.
And then I was enjoying it so much that I think I did 3 hours.
That's it. That's
night.
The vibe.
But
that's the vibe.
It was so much fun, and I just sort of played whatever I want. But luckily, my friends have.
Back in the day, the format was CD, right? CDs
sticky,
covered in
sticky,
rum.
Shot covered CDs with pen inked on them.
Yeah.
Couldn't really read what it was. Most of my songs skipped because I didn't change them enough. It was a very unprofessional outfit, but somehow people still seem to dance. So I guess that it worked.
You guys are, again, like I said, you guys are great fun to watch. And me and Dave actually did a Threads special where we kind of hosted. So every now and then they would bring in kind of external promoters to host a Threads.
Yes, I remember.
So it was Puzzled Presents Threads. That was a thing that I was doing at the time. And me and Dave brought a gazebo down, which I borrowed from a friend, promised him I wouldn't destroy. And then I think in the heat of the end of the night, we were like, oh, that was amazing. We had so much fun. Now we've got to take this gazebo down. So we ended up just smashing a gazebo to bits in the end, I think, and threw it in the bin out the back of DQ. And then the next day I was like, I need to go get that gazebo. And I was like, oh no, we smashed it to bits.
The gazebo does not exist.
It's in the bin at the back of DQ. I think we went down and saw it in the bin and looked at it and went, yeah, that's not coming back, is it? That's sort of...
Did you ever buy him a new gazebo?
Yes, I did. Yeah, so all the money that I got paid from Threads, it was quite a Techers gazebo as well. He was like, oh, it was this much. And I was like, Oh, here's all the money.
Here's this hard-earned cash that we got from that last night.
And back in the day, that used to be enough to, like, that little paycheck on a Saturday used to be enough to sort of see me through a couple of weeks.
Me too.
You didn't get that, you didn't really have to have much money to live in Sheffield
That
back
was
then.
my job. That was my job for pretty much a year. And
That's it.
funnily now, I went to uni and then I did a gap year.
Yeah.
Which
Well-
everyone does. I didn't find myself.
What kind of gap did you go
I
traveling?
did South America. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Which was great.
Yeah, don't dumb it down. That's amazing.
But I feel a bit like gap year, yeah. I don't want to be that guy. I didn't eat, pray, love it or anything. I just went and traveled, and it was amazing, and I had a great time.
What was your favorite part of South America?
What was my favorite part? I think Peru felt the most culturally different.
Yeah.
Like we went to Brazil and Argentina, and they had like quite a metropolitan feel to them, even though there was like, huge differences kind of artistically, music wise and vibe wise. But there was touch points of things I recognized, whereas Peru and Bolivia actually felt very different.
Yeah, there's like a Starbucks in Brazil and stuff.
Yeah, exactly
that kind of
that.
thing.
Where I was like, oh, I like ate some guinea pig, and they keep like guinea pigs under their bed to keep warm, and that was like a whole level of kind of the way people live that I hadn't experienced. So that was what I was kind of going for. Like that's what I wanted to see. That feels a bit voyeuristic, but kind of experience, and I definitely got that from those places.
Amazing.
But then I came back and like DJ'd for a year, and I sort of call it my fallow year because like I had no idea what I wanted to do or was going to do.
What a great way to do it, though.
So then I DJ'd and we got very drunk together, and lots of us did that for like a whole year.
Definitely. I talk to people now, like kids now, and in fact, as me and Dave have been talking about this, because we were sort of saying it's getting harder and harder to kind of do something creative, not full time, but like as your job, even for a short amount of time. I guess like we were quite lucky in our 20s. Maybe that was the last time you could do it, because Sheffield was so affordable to live in as a city.
Sure.
You didn't really have to earn too much. You could kind of just do a little bit of work, and then like if you were prepared to sort of take the hits and maybe not live in the most glamorous house or drive the most glamorous car or whatever, but you could live at least and do creative stuff on the side.
And like not worry about what that creative thing was. Like you didn't have to know what your thing would be, because you could spend time trying things out and playing, basically. And I think that's harder now. I mean, I went to uni and did English.
Yeah.
And I do think I use my degree in my job, but I think that's a rarity actually for like lots of my friends. People went and did degrees because you kind of could at the time.
Yeah.
It was more affordable. I do use my degree quite a lot actually, but I think interestingly, I would say my time spent outside of university for me was as valuable, if not more valuable, in terms of my career now.
Yeah.
And Threads, like the people I met through Threads are part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Doing what you're doing. Yeah.
I didn't need to go to uni. Like you didn't need to go to uni to experience that side of things.
One thing we found, well, I already knew about Sheffield, but I think Dave has sort of found out through doing this podcast, is just the incredible network of people that run through the city, and the connections that they have to other people is insane.
It's
like,
almost a bit much.
It is a bit much sometimes.
The degree of
for
separation
sure.
is like 2, not 6.
It's close. It's what they affectionately call it the the largest village, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think I'm probably part of that, and the sort of Venn diagram of people in the cultural sector feels like very small.
Yeah.
I imagine if I don't know everyone doing cool shit in Sheffield, of course.
No, but
But you might know someone who knows them.
Yeah.
And I think it feels generally like a very supportive, like engaged city for that.
Definitely. And that I've always found, like, a lot of the creative projects I've done have always been here. Even this podcast, I live in Manchester now. Dave lives in Lincoln, but we do it here because it's sort of a centre point between us. But also it feels like the place I want to do it, if that makes sense. Because it's just it's home, really, for me.
Still feels like that.
Yeah, creatively and just like usually, I think. So yeah, like I agree wholeheartedly. It's just a good place for stuff like that.
Do you think, though, interestingly, it's cliquey? How, if from you both kind of having left there, do you think there's any sense of clickiness to it? And I'm asking that without skin in the game. I'm just curious.
I think Sheffield's less cliquey than other places that I've lived. I found Leeds very cliquey.
Oh, interesting.
And I find Sheffield quite, Like I think in Sheffield you have to ask a lot of questions to get answers, because I don't think people talk about everything that's going on very openly. I don't think people in Sheffield are particularly vocal about like, oh, we do this really well, or you should go there. I think there are a lot more kind of like, well, we had to find out, so you should find out. If you really want to find it, you'll find it.
You've got to work for it a little.
But I wouldn't
say
so.
clicky.
Oh,
Like
good.
I mean, when we had John Rev on, he was open to come on.
Yeah.
But like, do you know what I mean? There was opportunities, and he just kind of came on. You just, like you said, if you ask,
Yeah.
it's like they'll kind of come on and help you out. And like,
Yeah, I think
I
we've
wouldn't
had
say the
some-
word is clicky. No,
Oh, good. Okay.
I'd say it's like what you've described it as. It's like, I think it's perfectly cool. Like what you said, a big village kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels that way. It doesn't feel. I want to call it clicky. No,
I just
being
wondered
here
if
for a
you
while.
both being sort of in different places looking in,
Yeah.
because there is such a kind of tight knit creative community, and
It does feel tight knit.
Yeah, maybe that's the right word, like tight knit rather than
I think
clicky.
Yeah, I think it's like there's people at the center of it all, I suppose, and there's people that have done great things within it. But I think also, I don't think those people are averse to new people joining or the value of other people. I don't think it's like you can't come in and do something. I think it's often quite encouraging for people to start something. And like we've had some guests that have come on here that have been, like yourself included, that have been, you know, we've asked the question, you've been like, yeah, sure, come on.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you. You'd have to come down here on a Wednesday night and sit with us. You know, you've got much better things to be doing. You can be doing anything. But
I'm here with you
you've
today.
chosen to give us your time and come and chat to us about you. So that's really great.
General
like,
reception as well. I think being here
Yeah.
outside, like getting out. There's a few guests I want on, but then I don't think we've even asked those. To be fair,
no.
You've had some bangers, like.
Yeah,
Oh,
great.
yeah. We've
Yeah,
had some really great guests over the last year or so. Yeah, definitely. And again, it's just one of those things. It's like you ask the question. Sometimes they come on, sometimes they can't. And more often than not, they say yes. So it's been great, and we've really enjoyed it. Your mic keeps cutting in and out a little bit.
Oh, it does.
Can you hear that, Fran?
Yeah, I think it's just me.
Oh,
When
because
you
I'm
put in
Roger
it-
that.
yeah,
I'll,
put it-
I'll
yeah,
make sure
keep
it's
it-
a bit like this.
Keep it closer to your chops.
I will do. Yeah,
Otherwise I can't hear you.
I should have headphones on as well.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's all right.
I'll make
No
sure,
worries. No worries. I wanted to ask you about the Pulp film. Supermarkets, Life, Death, and Supermarkets.
Yeah.
So I remember bumping into you around the time of filming on that. Was that one? Am I right in saying that's one of the earlier projects in film that you
I
worked
think
on?
officially my first job in film. I was
Okay.
a production assistant on that documentary because I was working at Exposed magazine
Right.
at the time.
Yeah.
Kind of sort of producing. I use that in like a very light touch way, but like producing they do the kind of live music sessions that are
Yes.
filmed.
Yeah.
So I was like producing them, having never done that before, but like pulling it together, I guess.
Yeah.
And at the time,
Could probably do that.
yeah. It's like, well, here's a venue. You need this. You know, that is producing is essentially problem solving.
Yeah.
And like getting shit done.
Yeah.
That was like my first experience of that. But I was doing that for Exposed, and then Mark Bull, who is a brilliant, he's a real big deal camera operator now, but he did a lot of early Monkeys videos. He captured a lot of the early Monkeys footage and kind of the time when they started. He was getting into the film biz, and he was working on this project and said, "Oh, you should. They need an assistant, basically. Will you come and do it?" And I, well, yes.
Yeah.
Of
jump
course,
at
you
the
say
chance.
yes.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, how you progress in your career
Yeah.
in this industry, but in any, is like being curious and going, yeah, I'll give that a go. Like I'm
Definitely.
not sure, but I'll give it a go. And I worked with Florian, who is this brilliant director, and I got to like go and see Pulp and noodle some things, do lots of forms, make lots of tea, assist. And that was like my first credit and my first route into the industry, really.
It's a really cool film as well. Like it's a kind like
It's
a great little doc/live performance film.
And it's not a straight performance film. There's sort of he has a directorial eye and like created narrative, and that was really interesting. It wasn't just capturing the thing.
Yeah.
It was like understanding that he had a vision for it alongside Pulp.
Yes.
And like how you pull that together and how you manage the band's expectations versus directors' expectations.
Yeah.
And that was like really helpful to see for me early on, I think.
It's Jarvis changing a tire on Park Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great film. If you've not seen it, do check it out.
Yeah, it is great.
It's wicked. So that was like your first step. But had you at that point? So you were working for Exposed magazine. Is this this is after your fallow year, shortly after your
After my shortly
the
after my
fallow
fallow, yeah,
times.
the dark times. It's like when
Yeah.
Glastonbury has a year off to let the grass grow. That's kind of what I was doing, I guess, is letting my grass grow.
Yeah.
So that was after that, where I was, DJing, sleeping a lot, having a great time, and meeting lots of people. But
Yeah. Importantly, networking with like the most fun people in Sheffield.
Yeah.
That's what Threads was for me. It was the most fun people
yeah.
that did the most cool, outrageous shit.
And
Like,
I probably still have some relationship with like 70 or 80% of those people now.
nice. Yeah,
Which is
love
saying
that.
a lot for that time, when you're going out a lot and people can sort of come
Definitely.
and go. But I certainly do. And then after that, I mean, again, I give full credit to Mark Bull for this. I did quite a big sort of jump in the industry, which is why I perhaps had imposter syndrome for a long time. But basically, off the back of that production assistant job,
Yeah.
a Film 4 internship came up, and Mark was like, "You should go for it."
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what? Okay. I filmed my interview. You had to film yourself answering some questions. And I asked Showroom to like, let me have a screen. 'Cause I
Yeah.
thought, that'll be, film it in a cinema, the most obvious thing ever. But it worked.
I don't think so. I would have probably done it in the toilet or something.
Well, do you know
I mean,
that someone else in my interview room, and I only knew this after the fact, but like did a really arty version where they were answering questions as someone poured paint over them and like in slow motion. And that was their video. And I thought, oh no, they probably did hire the right person in.
Yeah,
me.
I think so.
Ultimately.
Yeah, I think so. They've overthought that.
They've
they've
really-
overcooked the onion there.
They've really overthought
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I then got an interview for this thing. And I genuinely, my expectation was like, a day out in London. Like I'd booked dinner. I was like, this is so great.
Sick.
I'll go like see some pals. Had the interview, got it, and at the end they were like, "Can you move to London in 2 weeks?" And again, I went,
Sure.
"Yeah."
Yeah.
Figure the rest out.
Yeah. As you go.
Figure that you find a route, you do it that way, and
Yeah.
that's how it kind of. So I took the jump from that first production assistant job to being an intern at Film 4.
Nice. So you moved down to London 2015-ish?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
really right, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I'm
My
guessing.
memory's terrible, by the way. So I'm like nodding at
I'm
you.
guessing just because
telling me about my life.
I remember that Pulp film coming out like the year before.
Yeah, so,
So,
it's probably around that time, maybe 20. Where are we now? 26. Yeah. 16, 17, exactly, because it's been about
Nice.
10 years since I guess, in the biz.
Nice. Okay, that's amazing. Like, so where in London are you living at this point as well?
So I moved into,
How did that go?
interestingly, the person who I did my Threads, the DJ competition audition with, Victoria Tro.
Great.
Do you remember Tro? I'm not sure if you would have.
I don't think so.
Vaguely.
So I was a bit later with Threads,
Okay, so
but I used to go, but not
she was in London at the time,
right.
and let me stay in her spare room for 3 weeks while I found a flat. I moved into a 5-bed house in Mile End in East London, which at the time was not cool. It's quite cool now, but at the time it was kind of Bethnal Green adjacent.
Yeah.
It's east, but it was kind of a shithole.
Right.
And my room was like basically a pretty much single bed with one tiny window, the floor slanted, so everything just like rolled to the bottom of my room. You were sharing like one scabby bathroom with 5 Australians,
Yeah.
But I was like, I've so made it. I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, this is major.
This is like spaced kind of thing for you.
Yeah, it was.
But it's
it was
terrible
mega.
terrible if you have a collection of marbles that you like to display.
Absolutely,
Because they're just
yeah.
rolling all over the place. But yeah, other than that, you're all right. Yeah.
So yeah, I moved there and started in this job that I honestly didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
I was in the marketing and distribution team at Film 4, and I didn't know what distribution was.
Right.
I kind of knew what marketing was. I didn't really know what it meant for film or
Yeah,
for that
yeah, yeah,
brand. But I loved what they did. Like I loved the output
Yeah, yeah.
and just sort of soaked everything in. I was really lucky that someone who's still one of my best friends now, I kind of took over from her job. But the group of women who were running Film 4 at the time were like these powerhouses. And my boss, Sue Bruce Smith, who sadly passed away a few years ago from cancer, but was kind of like a titan in the industry.
Yeah.
And she was like my mentor. But the people, this is kind of, sorry if this is a little boring. If
No,
you're
not at
in
all.
the industry,
Not
but
at all.
at the time I was there was someone called Eva Yates, who is now head of BBC Film, Tessa Ross, who's head of a production company called House, who made like Conclave and all these like amazing, huge like British films. Fiona Lamptey, who went to be like head of UK Netflix, like all these women.
It speaks volumes for where they've gone to, for how important that
Yeah.
time was with everybody working
and
there
Rose Garnett,
in
who's
those
head
roles.
of A24 UK.
Wow.
So it's like,
Okay.
you know, these are the kind of the people who I was coming up.
That's the caliber. That's who you've been nurtured around. That's
the people
amazing.
I kind of learned from and have all been incredibly like generous with me and to me, and I've tried to follow their lead in lots of ways. So I was really lucky that I landed in that moment.
I was going to say I'm a big fan of A24. Love their stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And I think, what's interesting is I'm always a bit like Film 4. A lot of the first A24 US releases were Film 4 films.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Did
St.
not know
Maud
that.
and tons of those things when they were starting off were like early Film 4 films. So there's a real like synergy between, I suppose, the type of work they were both
I can get
making.
that vibe actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and we work with them a lot. We did at Film 4, my previous job. They're very cool. They've always got like nice caps and nice merch, and they know how to like. They know how to hit the zeitgeist. I think in terms of film conversation, don't they?
Yeah.
I think they've done an excellent job of that. I slightly wonder if they've gone too far now. You know what I mean?
They're taking on so much. I see so many A24 films coming out now, and I'm like, okay, probably just pull back a little bit. There is a cool one coming out, The Back Rooms, that's coming out.
And they work with like amazing filmmakers. I just think
I love how just everything's shot. I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah,
You can take a still of any of their like kind of productions and like, oh, you can just frame it.
for sure.
Just turn that mic to your mouth, mate.
Sorry.
It's,
Hold on.
it's so
Something's going on with it. Yeah, I don't know. Fair enough.
it's so phasey. Okay,
Oh,
like
weird.
half
Sorry.
comments, it's all right. It's all good.
So phasey.
Yeah. But the thing is, right, your tech side as well. So this is going to annoy you later. And you're like, oh, God, that microphone. But anyway, sorry.
Is that because you can't hear yourself?
Do you want these headphones? Yeah, chuck them over. That's all right, mate. So sorry to interrupt that by with
No.
tech chat, but so you're at Film 4 at this point, and you're working the marketing and distribution team.
Yes.
And you said you didn't have a clue what the distribution team was at the time or whatever, but then you've got into the role, you started working on it and stuff. Film 4 and Channel 4 for me in general, I guess they're separate things, but they've always been kind of like the cool British TV channel for me, or British TV filmmakers. I think it's a very like, that's where the interesting stuff happens. The BBC make great stuff, obviously, but for Channel 4 is a bit more like left of centre, a bit more like out of the box where the interesting stuff happens. Was that the case when you were there? Did you find?
For sure. I think the intention, and look, like the market changes, the business changes, and I think they're at Channel 4 at a different time now, but always the intention, and certainly the Film 4 team now, is to like take risk. I think that's the big difference between BBC, who I also love and do great work, but the point was always that we would take risk and like challenge, I think would be the kind of phrase, is to like
I see
start
that
conversation, take a risk that other people wouldn't take on storytellers or filmmakers or voices.
Yeah.
That was kind of always built into the DNA of that place.
That's really exciting. Do you like? I don't know. I feel like that's not. Maybe I'm just not looking at it in the same way anymore. But I feel like that sounds like worrying now. Was that a different time, or is it still
worry
that way?
as in they aren't able to do that so much
No,
anymore?
as in like if somebody was saying, oh, like we should challenge or take chances, I feel like now everyone would be like, ooh, or should we play it safe a bit more?
Oh, for sure.
Kind
And
of thing. Has it
think,
changed a bit? Do you think the
it
landscape, the
has.
environment?
I think it has because of, I mean, loads of things, but money and the business of it, and like what streamers have done, and like how hard it is to make independent film now.
Yeah.
So sometimes there is like a safe bet way to do something and to guarantee audience. And I think Film 4 used to be at the kind of the spearhead of like, well, so fuck you, we're gonna like lead it and make it good, and people will come. And that's still at the heart of it. I think like if it's good, people will come.
Yeah.
And I do believe that.
They're definitely a brand I still trust when it comes to film.
Yeah.
So if I see it's a Film 4 film, I'm like, okay, cool. It's going to be a level of quality that's like guaranteed kind of thing.
And I think that's like that. I mean, look, Eva, who runs BBC, they do that too. But you know, before I knew what the job was, like working in development or creative, which is where I've kind of moved to.
Yeah.
The level, like films take so long to make, and the level of interrogation and development and drafts and questions that are asked, and like it's so intense, and the people care, like people behind the scenes care so much, and like that is so true, certainly from my point of view. Like especially at Film 4, the rigor with which people would approach like the storytelling is unbelievable. And like that's an amazing thing.
Was that a surprise to you going into the job? Like, I don't, you know, I don't want to say you didn't know anything about film, but like the length of
I really
the
didn't
length
know
of
anything.
time, the length of time with like which the projects took and like all these like details. Was that like is that something that obviously you know happens now, but like at the time was it like, oh, I didn't realize it took this long, or I didn't realize that had to happen for that, or
Everything was new to me. I can't really stress everything was new to me. You know, when you go and you'd see like the credits in the back of a film.
yeah,
I guess I'd been curious. I guess I'd know like who a director was and a writer maybe, but you don't pay a great deal of attention to like you get to 20th credit or whatever and you sort of tune out.
yeah,
Well, that's suddenly like that's where the Film 4s and the people come in and those
Yeah.
names. You don't understand the kind of the amount of people it takes to get a film off the ground.
Yeah.
And like I honestly think anything that gets made is a miracle.
yeah,
The
definitely,
alchemy
I
of
can see
things
that.
and the kind of the look and I mean incredible hard work, but all
Yeah.
the things that need to go right to take something from like a script to being on your TV or being in your cinema
Yeah,
is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable feat every single time. So I try not to slag things off either, because even if I
Definitely.
don't like it, the work and the time and
Yeah.
the kind of passion from
Yeah.
lots of people that have gotten into it is unbelievable and should be lauded.
the graft that goes in is crazy, and then also like there's things you can't control. I did a brief extra bit of work which
Oh,
ties
okay.
in with your current role, I guess, for Warp.
What was
Back in the day,
project?
it was Kill List.
Amazing.
So I was one of the guys in masks. At,
Were you
at
really?
the end in the tribe thing or whatever it is, like the cult. And so my friend Kaylin did like the design on it. And it was like me, a guy called Josh who's on my film course, and his friend Nick, who's like this massive sort of strong hench guy, and he was banging the drum at the start of the procession.
No
So I'm
way.
stood next to Nick with Josh, and we're like carrying like flaming torches and stuff. But that film shoot was amazing. But we were all extras, and I was there because my friend Kaylin got us in because she was doing costume design. She was like, "Do you want to earn like 75 quid or whatever doing an all-night film shoot in Leeds?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course we do. Like, let's do that."
Absolutely.
But it hammered down with rain, and I'm talking like end of the world rain. It was so difficult to work in. We were all soaked to the skin. We had to do like multiple takes of that thing, and like we were walking around, the torches kept going out. Like there's like bits where we're running through the wood, and like we were all freezing. And then we'd go onto this big bus. There'd be like heating on. We'd all dry off, fall asleep, then get woken up to go back out into the rain. We all came away with like colds and whatever. But you watch the film at the end, and you're like, what a feat. Like
Yeah.
it was so hard to get all those shots, but they look so good, and like the rain kind of adds to it a bit, and
For
like
sure.
yeah, so it's all like I totally get what you mean with the like it's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, that's
And
some
you know that-
first-hand experience of
That's
it.
so funny. Kill List is. I remember being in a hotel room the night before my Film 4 interview, and I was like, I'll watch another Film 4 film before this, so I could
Yeah,
like
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
it. And
yeah.
it was Kill List.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
remember
Yeah.
getting to the end of it and being like, what have I got myself in for? Yeah, because I
Yeah.
hadn't seen Kill List before that point. And it's an amazing film, but it's dark.
It's heavy,
It's
right?
dark.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
remember going into the interview and be like, I actually watched Kill List last night. and I don't feel great about this. But
Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's
a real film.
it's very cool.
And
So
they're not scared of darkness. That's the other thing. I think that they
Yeah.
aren't scared to go there. And I think
yeah,
that's true
yeah,
of
yeah.
where I'm at now, Warp as well. Not
Yes.
scared to go there.
Well, between Warp and Film 4, you're at BFI for a little while, or was there something
There was
else
something
prior
else
as well?
In
Sorry.
between. No, so I and just to say, because I do think people are always like, how did you get into your job now? And often being on the creative side of the business is like a hard route in, because the jobs,
Yeah.
certainly in development at like one of the broadcasters, they're quite few and far between those jobs. But when I was in the marketing team, the brilliant Eva Yates and lots of people there
Yeah.
in the creative team, and I'd be like, can I like read the scripts? Can I join your creative meetings? Can I like do some script reports for you?
Yeah.
Like would always ask questions, even though it was sort of outside of
Where you were,
Where I
your job.
was.
It was extra work for you.
it was extra
really,
work,
yeah.
but I always wanted to be like a bit closer to the creative process and the kind of start of the film than the marketing side, which is kind of the end of the film.
Yeah.
So just to say, if people are interested like in that, just ask questions and like get involved, because generally that's how you learn. I mean, it sounds obvious, but
No, but it's
important
also
to kind of state, I think.
some people don't think to do that as well, and some people maybe are afraid to ask the questions of those
Yeah.
people, but you ask the questions.
And people are normally like, great, please write a script report for me. Like,
Yeah.
value, feedback. But then my boss at the time, I went through 3 bosses at Film 4. Well, there was kind of a big change while I was there. And one of my bosses left to set up the international arm of a US company.
Right.
So that was called SDX International. And I went in, there was like 3 people there at the time, and I went in as the 4th.
Wow.
At the kind of early part of the company. And we made films like Mile 22, Mark Wahlberg,
Right.
and a lot of Jared Butler films. They did make Hustlers, that good Jennifer Lopez film.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
Lorraine?
I know that one.
But it was a lot of like big studio movies,
Yeah.
which was really interesting because I had only seen the kind of British independent side of the biz, really.
Yeah.
So it was like a learning curve. Again, I was in the marketing team there and surrounded by brilliant people. But like the end product of what we were making or supporting was not necessarily my bag,
I'm probably more on the twee British, like cutesy side of things. Dave's probably more on the big sippy cup, big popcorn, blockbuster side of things. Of the two of us, so
and both absolutely have their place. By the way, like
100%.
sometimes I want to go to the cinema on a Friday night and just have a really good time.
be thrilled.
Be
I went
thrilled.
to the cinema the other day and it was just dead.
What
And
did
I
you
was so
see?
sad. I went to go see the Ryan Gosling space
Oh,
film.
Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did.
It's so good.
It's good.
I loved that. It was so warm and like charming and good-hearted.
I thought
Yeah.
they took it a bit too far towards the end when he started. Spoiler alert for anybody listening.
Not seen
Well, they
it
can
yet.
say spoiler.
I've not seen it yet, so I'll just
Yes, it
close my
is.
ears. Go.
But just
Go.
it's not even a thing. It was
Go,
just
go.
when he's teaching the rock kids.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, is that part of the book?
I don't think they landed the plane on that. I agree. I thought that was a bit silly.
They just went a bit. I think it could have cut off at a certain point, which I won't say.
Yeah.
But they could have left it a little bit ambiguous. But like they could have carried it on. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm a big Ryan Gosling fan anyway. So
Me too. We
yeah.
could do a Gauze sub podcast here.
Do you remember the
do
bit that the main one I'm going to say is the meme where he won't eat his cereal?
that?
That's one of my favourite things
Somebody's
ever.
throwing it at the
Just
telly.
putting the spoons on Ryan Gosling's face as he turns away.
I know it well. I think
Yeah.
I've got them all saved somewhere.
I was a bit sad though because like there's no one in the cinema, and I was just like, oh, because it's. I mean, in this landscape,
That's a shame.
I know, but I don't know whether it's just the
It
day.
is.
I
It
don't
is
know.
sort of towards the end of its run though, because it has done very well, that film.
Fair.
So I think that's
Right.
okay. But generally, yes, a sort of quiet cinema is a sad sight.
I kind of love a quiet cinema, you know.
Well, you got the pros and
So
cons of it,
it's
right?
pros and cons, yeah. Like sometimes I'll go, like I remember going to watch Star Wars. One of the new ones came out or whatever, and that genuinely might be one of the last times I went to the cinema because I don't go very
Really?
often.
Jimmy,
It's bad. It's bad.
I thought you were a film fan.
Like, it's bad. I don't go
Do
to
you
the
watch a
cinema.
lot at home?
I don't know. I'm more TV at the moment
Okay,
than film.
yeah, that's fair.
But
We got tanked in
we got tanked in Fagans.
Vegas and we started
Dave,
screaming at each other,
Dave
didn't we?
drunkenly started shouting, "When's the last time you went to the cinema? Got yourself a film fan? What do you know about film?" And I said, "I've watched Clockwork Orange."
That's all
which
you
is
want to know.
my only counterpoint. But I know it's bad. I do love a quiet cinema sometimes, just to sit there and like be, this is all for me. But also, I love going to the showroom or like
Yeah.
little kind of independent cinemas. In fact, I went to a cinema back home, which is called the Kinema in the Woods in
Oh,
Lincolnshire.
wow.
I've never been, but I've heard it's beautiful.
It's
It's
so
crazy.
It's
It's
so
wild.
special, that cinema.
Oh,
I love
okay.
it there.
Did the man play the organ for you at the start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the middle, they stop
Yeah.
the film in the middle, and a guy comes out on an organ
Facing
and
the other way,
plays.
by the way. He's facing the screen.
It's still like it's a proper like 1940s, 50s kind of style
That sounds
old cinema. It's
absolutely
amazing.
magical.
Like,
Me and Leanne went. It was magical. It was
but
great.
Yeah.
when I used to go there as a kid, that was just my cinema. So I just thought that's what all cinemas were like.
Oh,
And then you go to like a modern cinema and you're like, where's the guy with the organ? Like, where's all the cutesy like black and white, like what do you call
It's
it?
£17 for no organ? What are we
Yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah.
about?
This
What's-
might be why you don't go as much because it's just
Yeah, exactly,
You've
but
basically
nothing-
peaked.
Yeah,
at such a
nothing
young
can-
age.
Nothing can
so-
match up to that. There's a cinema in Hyde Park in Leeds as well, which is amazing.
The Picture House?
Yes, the Picture
That's
House.
a great cinema.
Yeah, I love that cinema. That little cinemas like that. I love that. And there's one quite near to me in little place called Heaton Moor. There's like a tiny little 2-screen cinema.
Oh,
So I like if I want to go to the cinema, I kind of want to go to somewhere like that.
okay, well, yeah,
But-
that's fair.
I am bad. I've moved into TV, but it's probably since having a kid. I just like you just get interrupted so much. Your evenings are so short.
Yeah.
You don't have often a lot of time to like get out the house, and when you do, you like, cinema is like lower down on my
Probably lower
priorities
down,
than
I
other
understand
things.
that. And I think TV has become the sort of line between TV and film is slightly blurred. I mean, I've always been film. I've never really worked in TV, interestingly, but like TV is excellent and in lots of ways it's like as big as film sometimes and feels like as experiential, even if you're watching it at home.
It's become quite filmic. Like
And that didn't used to
Sopranos,
be the
Breaking
case.
Bad and stuff. Yeah.
Did
In fact, at home, I've got one of those like lights, the LEDs behind your TV, and it reacts to whatever's on there. So
Oh.
whenever I'm in the mood for it, me and Leanne used it so much at the start. Not so much these days, but whenever I'm in the mood, I want to get involved. Like I'll watch something like Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that's a beautiful film, one of my favorite films ever. And watching that with the lights going on, it's trippy. It's just like whoa.
Is it distracting though to have that, or does
If you
just
have it
feel
too
like-
bright, but you can set it on certain settings as well, so it isn't as harsh. You can have it just flow kind of with the kind of colours of the TV, or you could have it just full on, just strobing in your face if you want.
Oh,
But
but that's mad on that film as well.
that
That's
film
already a trip.
yes, it already is a trick.
So
Yeah.
if cinemas are doing that, I'm there.
You're there. Do you want the like vibrating seats and the like
don't-
steam
no,
in your face and all of that?
And like every now and then when someone sneezes, like you get hit with some
Yeah.
water or something like that. No,
You want a theme park, is what you're saying.
no, I'm good. I'm good with like a normal cinema.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know this is a tricky question, but like,
Cheap hot
do you
dogs.
have like top 3 films of all time? This is a tricky
I
question because
knew
it might change.
that would come out.
I know what your
question would
favourite
come up,
film
and
is.
people are always like, "You work in film. What's your favorite film?" And I'm like, "Don't you dare ask me because I
It's,
don't
it's
know."
hard.
I know what
It's-
your favourite film
It
is.
changes though.
Really?
Let me hit you with the hills are alive
Oh my god!
with the sound of music.
I have my You're not gonna be able to see this, but I have my Sound of Music tattoo that I got just across from your studio
Amazing.
by Hannah.
What film impacted you then? Like,
That-
that you remember that you're like, oh,
The Sound of Music is up there because it's the film. Like for me, my favorite films they change all the time and they mean different things to me, right? So like I don't have one. The Sound of Music is the film that I probably seen the most, and it's mine and my mum's film. So we'd watch that. We'd
Yeah.
always watch that together. She watched it with like her family. So we like really bond over that. And that's probably my earliest memory of like sharing something with my mum. And also, have you got like it's so like there's Nazis in it. It's got everything.
Yeah,
There's
it's
Nazis, there's
it is
romance.
class.
To
To
be-
be
yeah,
fair.
I watched that recently. Yeah, like probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and it is. Yes, it's crazy.
And
It's
it
a good
still
film.
it still holds up.
It does.
Like, which is crazy.
For sure. So that and like she's so beautiful. And I don't know. There's just a whole. It feels like built into me, that film somehow. And then my other tattoo is from a film called The Apartment. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's like a 50s film about a guy who's like a really down and out. He's like an office worker, and all the higher ups in his office hire out his apartment for their affairs, and he has to like go out while they hire. It's like a 50s film.
I feel like this is definitely like a thing that I would have watched at uni for sure. Because I
Oh.
did study filmmaking at uni.
You would have
So
definitely
yeah,
seen that.
we've seen clips of it, if not the whole thing.
And
for sure.
it's there's like a Christmas because they build up to New Year's Eve is the kind of end of it. So it's kind of a seasonal film. You can watch it any time of the year.
Yeah.
But there's the last line in that, like I think it's because the main female character, who's one having an affair with her boss, but he falls for her. They fall for each other. And it's quite dark. Like this is a 50s film, so I'm going to spoil it. She tries to kill herself.
Yeah.
Which for the time felt weirdly progressive to see that or like understand what she was going through, in the 50s. He like nurses her back and they kind of fall in love. But she's this like trippy girl who like she uses humor to deflect. And I'm like, hello. What do I do?
Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
Like trying to
Hello,
talk
yeah.
about a real thing and you'd like, I'll tell a joke instead.
Yeah.
That's my dad. That's literally my dad.
Yeah. Or this is another tangent, but we talked about stupid internet stuff. But this girl said, here's me using accents instead of being vulnerable. And she goes through this whole thing. And you're only trying to say something about your friend and you're like, I love you, babe. Because you can't say it in like your normal accent or like trying to say something really serious and you put on like a Scottish accent to like,
Yeah.
soften the blow.
Yeah.
Anyway, the end line of this film is that they're playing gin rummy, I think it is. And she can't, he goes like, I love you. And she goes, shut up and deal. But it's like,
I like that.
she means I love you and they're going to be together. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yes, air punch. So The Apartment, I love.
Great.
And then like newer stuff, like I remember American Honey, this Andrea Arnold film.
Never seen that. Sorry.
It was one of the first films I worked on at Film Forum. We went to Cannes with it, and again, like it was my first time in Cannes, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say when I was a 16-year-old or a 25-year-old even.
Yeah.
But we went, and I was like, "Oh, you work your ass off. You have to work really hard at these things as an assistant." But they all, and it's when Shia LaBeouf was like cool before he became the slightly dodgy character he is now. Quite dodgy character he is now. But at
I
the
have no
time-
idea about this.
Oh,
Has he gone off the? Has he gone off a?
Cancelled.
I've got.
Oh, is it?
weird-
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He's a bit of
I-
a dude.
Oh,
I like
no.
him. I think he's broken.
I think he's broken. Yeah, and I don't think he's like cancelled, but he's kind of.
He's sort of. I wouldn't say
What-
he's cancelled in terms of. Obviously, there's much. There's things out there that are like known. There's court cases, all that kind of stuff.
Oh dear.
It's not.
Okay.
It's social. He's definitely socially cancelled. I don't know what the extent of.
So people aren't doing that whole
the
like just do
legality
it
is.
thing anymore that he did.
God no, that's you're
No.
living in the past.
I mean, that was that 10 years ago.
He did a recent interview with Andrew Callahan, Channel 5, which I love his stuff. And I don't know, I want to hug him, man, because I'm like, you're just busted. Like, something's bonked up with you.
For
Like,
sure. Have you seen
yeah.
Honey Boy?
no, I
That film
haven't.
that's like about his upbringing. He's clearly a very troubled character.
Okay, yeah, he's had some dark shit happen to him for sure. And I don't think, I think he's battling with it constantly, just
Yeah.
back and forth. I don't
Yeah.
think, it's like, I always use Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon's, because their past is crazy, the way they kind of, everybody judged them as like, you wouldn't be with it, because they had some dark shit happening, but they loved each other. And I think it's just complicated. It's complex. So when people like say, "Oh, I fucking hate him," he's like this, that, and the other. It's like there are monsters out there. There are genuine,
Yeah.
like horrible monsters. But I think there's a difference between that and someone who's troubled. And I think there's good in there. You went the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I think that was Shia LaBeouf. I think
Bit of a wrong turn.
he took a wrong turn, man. He's like he's got demons, and I don't know whether he'll ever deal with them, but he's a person I like to hang around with. Just I don't know. I don't know what it
Come
is.
back, Shia. Just do it.
You should watch. I'll send you that podcast he did. It's
Yeah.
it's
I
crazy.
need to delve into this, but
Yeah.
we've also interrupted your time at Cannes. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
When Shia was
this was before.
cool.
This was kind of before whatever happened.
What did you say? It's
Yeah.
Honey.
American Honey. It's
American
called.
Honey.
American
Andrea
Honey.
Arnold film, who's like one of our great British filmmakers for sure.
I went down a rabbit hole because I was in a shy mood, so I watched that tank one he was in. What is it called? My God, when he was in the tank with.
Oh, the army.
Oh, my brain is terrible.
Oh my God, me too. But it's like the cast is amazing.
Oh, it's Brad Pitt, and it was. What is Fury? That was it.
By the way,
And
also
then-
people always do that to me, like, you know that film? I'm like, my memory is shot.
Yes,
Yeah.
my name is shot. Yeah.
Just don't. I'll get there in about 2 years. You're gonna have to wait.
I've
That I
not seen
did,
it, so I can't
um,
comment. Dave, if you got magnetic things on your fingers,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
like concentration,
Like-
It is.
fidget
Yeah, it's
spinners.
fidget spinner things.
concentration
Yeah.
fidget spinners.
Um,
Okay.
I did that, and then after that I did Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh yeah, that's quite.
So
beautiful
I'll put that
film.
on my list.
Yeah,
What's it
American
called?
Honey.
American Honey. I'll do it now. 'cause
And
I've got
sorry, was that
IMDb.
the one that you said was about Shia LaBeouf? Was it?
He's in it.
Right.
He, in fact, he's probably the kind of. It was before his star was huge, even, but he was kind of the biggest star in it because she does a lot of like street casting or working with new actors.
Yeah.
But we had, because I'd always thought like my impression of Cannes, which is true to an extent, but it's just like very stuffy, very European art house. Like you have
Yeah.
to be quiet and reserved, and it's quite like beautiful and glamorous. But then we all rocked up, and they were all. It was shot by this amazing cinematographer who I know called Robbie Ryan, who does all of like Yorgos Lanthimos's films, and
Right.
only uses natural light, and it's very like naturalistic. And he was on the red carpet with all these kids, and they were like blasting like trap music on the red carpet, dancing
Fantastic.
their way down. And I just remember being like, what is this energy? Like,
Yeah.
this feels like we're shaking something up. And I just found that such a buzz. I was like, I can't believe I'm like part of a tiny part,
Yeah.
but like part of this thing. And then they all came back and we had their party, and me and my friend Hannah back to DJing. We're in like our office, but that's where the party happened to be.
Yeah.
And we're like trying to GD off one iPad with like sweaty fingers. And we're like, somehow we got like Shia LaBeouf dancing. And we're like, do not like let any gap in these songs. So we had the worst time because we were so panicked about trying to keep this dance floor going.
What was he
on one-
vibing to? Bit of George Michael?
I mean, it was Threads. 'Cause it was basically
you threads Shia LaBeouf.
Threads Shia LaBeouf, yeah. And I think about like that was one of my greatest like nights ever. Me and one of my best pals, Hannah, who worked there, we had such a laugh.
That's so sick.
And I just remember thinking like, this is cool. Like I'm part of this. This is so cool.
Oh my God.
So that film means quite a lot to me because the soundtrack as well felt quite important to me, and I listen to the soundtrack quite a lot, and it's really evocative. So it's stuff like that. I think films for me are about like the moments or the relationships or the meaning at the time.
Yeah.
I also like Sister Act 2, I think is one of the greatest films
Oh,
of all
yeah.
time.
Yes.
You know, it's not just
A
like
classic.
I like art house stuff, I like really independent stuff, and I also like Crazy Stupid Love. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a sliding scale of
Well, I say to everybody my favourite film's Full Monty. It's just because it's a film that means a lot to me and reminds me of different times.
yeah.
And because Sheffield and like I love the way that it was literally made with like no money and has gone on to become like a Broadway show, and
Yeah.
like it's become this great huge thing. And it is kind of just a British film,
Yeah.
but also it's like it's a great story. The characters are really there's a lot of
character,
depth
isn't it?
there's a lot of depth to the characters and stuff, and that's it. And but then I love like big Hollywood films and
Yeah.
Scorsese and all those kind of classic
course.
directors, and but sometimes it's nice to dine out on a bit of like
Just a
you
bit
know,
of popcorn.
4 weddings and a
like,
funeral.
Yeah, exactly. And
bit of Notting Hill, whatever. Yeah, cool. Get it on.
Get it on.
Get it on.
exactly.
Put it on.
And that's what that like the into that in that job at STX International, did was like I learned so much about like the business.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't love the films, I loved some of them. But actually what it was really helpful for me was like, what do I want to do? And it was kind of going back to like what voices do I want to see on screen, and what sort of films do I want to watch, and like who do I want to champion?
Great.
And that led me back to working for the BFI, the British Film Institute, but I was like their Northern talent exec, so it was very specifically about Northern talent
Yeah.
and supporting new Northern talent. And that allowed me to, because we would fund short films and work with like newer writers, and that was like my segue into working in development or like on the creative side of the business.
It's interesting that there's like a Northern talent pool in the BFI, and I just like I don't want to be provocative with this question, but how is Northern talent viewed? Like, so BFI is London based, but how is Northern talent viewed? Is it like we need to reach these people to like harness that market? Is it like we should be telling these stories because we're responsible for the entire country and a lot of our stories come from the South? Is it like, well, what do Northerners want? You must know.
Yeah.
Like, is it like
They want
it
the
ju-
kitchen sink.
Yeah, exactly.
Gritty realism as well.
Yeah. It's
think
like, is there a vast difference? Is it like, or is it just like there's areas out there that haven't been represented? Let's represent them.
It's that the intention is good.
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
have
yeah.
these hubs all across the country. So there's like a northern one, a southwest one,
Great.
like the Midlands one. So they have these people to try and kind
Yeah.
of find those voices, because the film industry is still so London centric.
Yeah.
It's moving and it's changing, but ultimately like it is.
Yeah.
But I think it is that it's that stories can come from anywhere. People from that place don't have to tell stories about that place, but the storytellers can come from everywhere, and they
Right.
will bring like a richness of experience because we all live different lives in different places. And if you
Yeah,
grew
of
up in
course.
Liverpool, of course.
Yeah.
And yet there'll be universality as well. But I think it was like the BFI was lottery funded and should represent the whole country across its entire like regionality, all types of diversity.
Yeah.
Its job is to do that.
It's,
So
it's good that it does as well. Like that's great, and for you to be a part of it in that way,
yeah,
that must have been really special.
it was really special and really exciting because there's brilliant talent all over the place. Of course there is, but so many people actually railed against the like it's grim up north, because there
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah,
There is
yeah,
still
yeah,
that, isn't
yeah.
there? I think people imagine that, and actually like. Of course, it's grim up north. It's also grim down south. We're funny here too. We can
Yeah.
do horror. We can do sci-fi. We can like
Yeah.
tell stories that are not just about like angry men in pubs. We do that quite a lot.
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
company
love that.
included.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah,
But
yeah.
There's a wealth of stories to be found there, and it was like a real privilege to be able to find those people and nurture them.
Amazing.
Can I ask what your opinion on like What's AI looking like in the film industry? Like, how is the film industry looking at that? Going, okay, what
It's a really
does that look like?
good and ever evolving question. I think like there's certainly studios and probably bigger companies who are using it more than I think independents are. From really small things, like what is terrifying is I could like plug a script into AI now and get a script report in 30 seconds. That previously would have
Wow.
taken me 2.5 hours to read the script, digest my thoughts, cultivate
Yeah.
thoughts, write out a script report. That's half a
What
day.
what does the script report entail? Is it you just?
So different for different things. Like if at Film 4, we would have sometimes we'd have like readers, or all the companies have readers of projects that might, before they get to exec, get read by someone, and then a report that's basically like, here's a summary, here's my overall comments on it in terms of like, yes, I think there is a good story here, there's good characters, like they do the genre well, this feels like an exciting piece of cinema, and then they do a whole synopsis of the script, so that like, because execs are busy, like the amount of scripts you have to read is insane. So sometimes you take a look at something, and because we trust our readers, it might be like, this is a pass, even before you get to the script, because ultimately we're not looking for this for our slate. We don't want a period drama.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to, spend my time reading that.
Yeah.
Or they've said that the writing's terrible, which means I'm probably not going to read it. So it's like sometimes it's the first, the first pass before it gets to an exec. And then sometimes it'll be me doing it for notes. So I would read a project and it's to go back to the filmmaker. So then that would be like, here's what we think's good. Here's what we think needs work. Here's some questions we have.
See, when you talk about how a script even gets to TV or the cinema, how incredible that is. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
That
It's not just like read by everyone. and
Wow,
there's
I
a
didn't even know
decision
a script report was a thing.
made. Yeah.
Again, it's a miracle these things get made because of these script reports. There's loads of ideas that never got even
Yeah.
that far.
Of
So do you
course.
see AI
Production.
helping certain areas but then hindering others? That's what I think the general
Yeah.
consensus of it is like we've heavily invested in it. I think we've over-invested in it. And I think there's going to be a pullback. But I think parts of it will stay.
It should ultimately, though, shouldn't AI just make the worst parts of our job easier?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And allow
Yeah,
us
yeah.
to do the best parts better. I think that's what it should be doing. And
I hope
like,
so.
there's look, AI is changing all the time, right? So like in a year, this statement could become completely untrue. But I don't think, like, this is hard to explain, but in the industry, we talk a lot about like what your voice is as a filmmaker or as talent.
Yeah.
Like, what is it that's special? Like, what's your special sauce that makes you the right person to tell this story and make me want to support you telling it? And there's so much like specificity to that like if AI churns out a script, I can't imagine a time when it has that like special sauce. It could make like a really generic action film that then you do cast Ryan Gosling in and a brilliant director, and there's a version where that becomes a great film. But it's unlikely because there's so much in the writing of a script that's, what a stupid thing to say, that's so important. I don't think AI will ever have the
I
new
think it will.
ones.
What about 1,000 polar bears with infinite typewriters?
Could that...
Is that a
could
threat to
that-
the industry?
Possibly.
Well, I don't know.
Well-
It's a good film idea, though, isn't it? Like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, is this like a dystopian thing
Well,
where...
I thought it might be like a Pixar thing.
We have got some
Oh,
film.
you've gone cute, and I've gone like
Yeah.
end of the world. That makes sense.
We have got some film ideas and series that we might pitch to you if we get brave enough before the end, just to see where you are.
live pitching.
Just to see where you're at, like initially, just initial thoughts
Yeah, okay.
on them, things that we've come up with throughout doing the podcast.
That would be great.
Dave will forget them, but then remember them as I say them and be like, I can't believe you're pitching that. So this is moving on to your time at BFI, and you're representing the North, and you're literally working with filmmakers, right, in all areas of production in terms of like
Yeah.
you're meeting people that are like really well-known filmmakers, you're meeting people that are like first-time filmmakers or
Yeah.
whatever, and just making their
It was-
visions come to
It
life.
was more the BFI thing because that was more like that was newer filmmakers really. So that was people who may have made like a short off their own back, or may
Right.
have been working in
Yeah.
like commercials or something, but wanted to move into the the narrative space, like narrative features.
Yeah.
We had short film funding available that you had to go through an application process for, and as well as some like early development money on features. So you could write like a treatment for a feature.
Wow.
So those were the two funds, but we also ran loads of like labs, writing labs, directing labs, producing labs.
Great.
Because nurturing producers is like as important as nurturing any other talent in the biz, because they're the ones who are getting the things made. And I think producing is one of the hardest things to get into.
So shout out to Fran.
Absolutely.
Just saluting to Fran in the corner, doing God's work over there.
Trying my best.
And I think
Smashing
producing is one of the hardest things to get into if you're not from like generational wealth. Because
Interesting to hear. Yeah, okay.
Because often producers are like, they don't get paid up front as much. They're having to do so much work for free before like money comes.
Yeah.
They're the ones holding everything together.
Right.
So like if you don't have some level of support system to do that, it can be incredibly hard.
Yeah.
So there's like lots of amazing working class producers, and I would shout out about 1 million if I could, but it's a really hard job, and I think they don't get enough credit, to be honest.
I would agree from my brief experience of working with producers, and of course from working with Fran.
Yeah, go on, Fran. Yeah.
Hi.
But yeah, that was like an amazing privilege. And again, it's like the beautiful thing, you know, I had a bit of a weird moment the other day. I was meeting some agents or something, but we were having a conversation. I was like, oh yeah, like I know them, or I've worked with them, and I suddenly thought, oh, I've like got to that point in the industry and being a little old that I know people. Like I know people now. I don't think I've ever had that before, where I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Like I have a network, and I like have people, and
You've come a long way from the film 4 days and the slanty room.
From the slanty room, I know.
You've come a long way from the
I have a garden
slanty
now
room
and everything.
That's
like,
amazing.
It is
mate.
amazing.
Come on.
A garden and a dog, living the dream.
So is Warp post BFI, or is there anything else in between?
I went back to film 4.
So you went back to film 4.
I went back. Just cannot get
The
over
boomerang.
that. Cannot get over that place. They're all like, bloody hell.
So is that
Here she is.
Is this all still in London as well? So BFI is in.
BFI was in Newcastle for a little bit, which is where I was born, actually.
Yes, of course. I didn't even ask you about that. I just assumed that people would hear the accent and understand.
Lots of people like don't quite hear my accent though. It's quite soft.
It is, but it's there.
I couldn't pin it.
No,
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that lilt? But now Newcastle.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Newcastle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Newcastle.
Like
Full Geordie.
Whitley Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I will go Geordie if I have like a pint or 10. Or speak to my mum. I'm like, ma'am, hello, are we? Like I go Geordie when I speak to my mum on the phone. Or when I'm up there, my accent gets stronger. But it's definitely like I've been in Sheffield a long time.
We go back to our own hometown in Boston. It definitely does get a bit Boston-y, mate. Little sea like that.
I even know it's bail out, mate. She's seen it all.
Seen it all, mate. Yeah, it does when I'm around parents.
Yeah.
Amps up a bit.
My missus is like, what is this?
Why have you left the door open?
Oh, you meant mom. Open. Yeah.
It's just like computer. It's like little.
I love that. Yeah, the little like,
tiny little bits. Oh, it's
that
beautiful.
Come back. It is a lovely thing that.
Yeah.
And now you say Newcastle. I can hear it now, but I couldn't pin it, man.
I caught it.
Good.
Well, like one of my neighbours is a good friend, and also one of my other mates is from Newcastle.
I mean, I'm not
so,
Cheryl. I'm not like I'm not Cheryl. Code level,
great city though.
A great city.
Great city. I was there on Saturday.
Oh, it's
Day fever.
and it just gets like better and better. I think it's an amazing place.
Just
to be.
lovely people. Again, like Northerners, warm, no nonsense, good party, good fun,
good humid.
Yeah, like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's just warm.
Yeah,
like you feel at home.
And everyone like you, it's such like it's a thing everyone says in London. Like people don't say hello to you, but they don't.
Yeah,
and like. Unless you make the effort, and then of course people are lovely. Look, best friends there and stuff.
Yeah, of
but
course.
In Newcastle, there is a thing where you're like at the till, at the bar, walking down the street. I was there for a match not so long ago, and there was these lads walking to the match, and a group of young Chinese students walking past, and it was the most lovely interaction because I think they like bumped into each other by accident. It was a lovely thing, and they were like. Lads were like, where are you from? And they're like, China. And they're like, China. And it was, but it was a lovely, they were like, really it was such a lovely, dead warm. And they were like, have a great night. You know, it was a really lovely, like, welcome to the city sort of vibe.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
There is that. So I was in Newcastle doing that job for a bit, living in Sheffield though.
So traveling up to Newcastle for
Travelling.
yeah,
But my mum and dad are still in the northeast, so I would stay with them.
nice. Was it nice to sort of go back home with this like kind of new career almost,
Oh,
or I mean,
so
I guess not that
nice.
new by then at that point, but like also you know you found like your lane, your thing that you're doing, and then
Yeah.
going home and being like, I'm doing this thing at home, and
It was really special
Yeah.
actually, because we're not, like my mum and dad, I'm sure they listen to this and they've heard it before, but like they still don't really know what I do.
Yeah.
They're like, what, like, they're like, they know I work in film and they're really proud of me and like think it's cool, but I don't think they know what my like day to day is.
yeah,
So it was nice to go home, because I was like going home to them 2 nights a week and like updating them on what I'd done.
yeah.
And I think they like love to feel involved. And it was really nice to be walking around Newcastle city centre, and like I was based in the Tyneside Cinema.
Wow.
So that was like a beautiful thing. But
Do
that
they
was,
find it kind of exciting as well? Like some of the people that you're working with, like you're making,
They are desperate to get in on it.
yeah,
That mum's always like, she thinks she's now 2 degrees of separation from George Clooney. Like truly, they're buzzing.
that's
and-
true, right?
But I mean,
Yeah.
well, actually, I could
Well, we're
Yeah.
in Sheffield, maybe even closer. I don't
I
know.
could
Somebody
well
here is
find-
probably
the connection. I reckon.
yeah,
Yeah, they find it so exciting and like
amazing.
giddy, and think that they're going to have a seat at the BAFTAs very soon. I'm sort of don't have the heart to tell them it's not yet on the cards, but yeah, they're dead excited by it.
No, I
And
love that.
they've got more into film since. They're like, we're going to challenge ourselves to watch more interesting stuff, and
That's beautiful.
That's
Mum will-
great.
Yeah,
That's
Mum will be
really
like, oh,
beautiful.
So we watched we watched this thing, and oh, your dad wasn't so sure, but I liked it. Or like they've started going to the Annick Playhouse, which is like the local independent cinema, and that's a nice thing to come from it actually, which I haven't
That's
really thought about.
That's a
till now,
really
but-
nice thing to come from it. Yeah,
Yeah.
They must be so proud, mate. You've done amazingly well, and we're not even halfway there yet. Like-
no,
Can I
it's
ask
not,
you
but-
what you would be doing if you weren't in film? Do you think there's another path for you
Oh,
somewhere?
I think when I was like 12, I thought I was going to be a dolphin trainer. I was really, I don't know, Fran, if you had that
It's a
big
big fan.
dolphin phase.
Yeah, I
Maybe
was
a bit
going to
younger
say
than
like
12, like 9.
body. Anytime you saw like a bodyboard at the seaside and you had a
Sure.
dolphin on it, you grab it.
I'd be like,
Um,
I thought I was going to be like surfing
marine
dolphin chick.
biologist.
Marine biologist.
that was
I
marine
would
biologist
say
was a big
90%
one.
of young women think they're going to be a marine biologist at some point.
Yeah, because you
Is this
sort
true?
of go for that, and then you learn that you have to
Dolphins
do sad
exist and you can
things,
do that as
and
well.
then you're like, oh, but the water and the
That's
yeah.
really funny, yeah.
Marine biologist happens to. I think a lot of young women like want to do that at some
Do you know,
point.
Yeah.
there's a big rift between men and women, isn't there? We don't know.
When
we don't know
I
anything
was-
about you guys. we really don't know women
We're
at all.
all secret marine
Watch
biologists.
Wait, hold on. Do I need to
biology.
bring up marine biology?
I was so bored.
conversations with my wife.
I was so bored and embarrassed that I worked for Tesco's years and years and years and years ago that when I was getting my hair cut, I pretended that I trained dolphins.
Did you actually?
The barber was like, "What
so
are
you
you doing?" I
pretended to
just
be a
went,
marine biologist
I
as
just
well.
trained dolphins. I was like, "Oh, that's sick!" And I just riffed it for like 40 minutes while I was in the chair, and he kept getting like, I think he got
Edgy
like,
twig.
and I kept with it. I just stonewalled, just like, yeah, no, it's incredible. Like, where are we based? I was like, yeah, I'll go down to London. It's X, Y, and Z. I go to
Big dolphin.
Landlocked.
Big dolphin.
Landlocked
dolphin
with
hub.
just
in
London.
making no sense. He's like,
Yeah, train him in the
"Huh."
Thames,
You
mate.
really went for that ride and took him all the way,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Dolphins
Yeah.
in
I
the
enjoy
Thames.
doing that.
I love that.
I didn't want to say Tesco.
I only do that kind of fib if it's like if I feel awkward in a taxi. I'll be like, oh yeah, and they'll be like, oh, what are you doing with your night? And I'm like, oh, I live with my dad, like my 3 brothers who are into like MMA, and my husband. Like,
And they're all
then
looking
they're
out for
like,
me
what?
right
And I was like,
now.
yeah, they're all waiting
Yeah.
for me to get home, just so you know.
And I'm a
Like,
I'm a marine biologist, but I'm also a ninja.
yeah.
Yeah.
I train sharks actually.
I wrestled them.
The sharks of Rother Valley.
Stunning.
Well, yeah, that's a really good question. Marine biologist, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But I think because I did English, I always thought it would be like I did a bit of I did like uni radio and a bit of writing. Like I always thought it would be something media-ish from probably like sixth form, I guess.
Yeah.
But I never really knew.
So it does kind of align.
Yeah.
It does kind of align with like where you thought you might be at.
Yeah, and I had I had 2 really good like media studies teachers at sixth form who were really inspiring, and I thought that really stayed with me. And funnily enough, a couple of my friends from school, a few of us are all like in the industry now in like a serious way.
Wow.
All who went to that, all in that class. So I think the power of good teachers.
Definitely.
It's an amazing
Yeah,
thing.
that must be, there must be something in that then for sure.
But I also went to uni and was like, I like reading. I'll do English.
Yeah, there
English
you go.
lit. And it paid off because I have to read loads all the time. And that's one funny thing. People are like, I don't really read for pleasure anymore though,
Yeah.
which is probably the only downside of my job. Is
Does
that
anybody read for pleasure anymore? I feel like all
Do you
our
think-
attentions are done.
Yeah, do you think?
I'd try. I've tried this year to sit and read like quite a lot, and I have done,
It's hard though.
but it is hard. I have to throw my phone in another room and literally lock the room, and then sit downstairs and focus my attention. And I can't. I'll get through like a few pages. I'm like, how many have I done? 57 pages. That'll do for tonight. And then I'll forget for like 3 weeks, and then be like, oh, I've not read my book in ages.
Yeah.
I stopped watching short form content. I watched a documentary on like how bad that is for your brain.
And
Like
I need
what
to
it does
stop
to your
working in it
emotions.
for a start. That'll be good.
Because
Yeah.
just like in films, right?
That'd be
How
great.
you've watched a full film
Yeah.
and you've come away, whether that be a comedy or drama or a horror, you come away from, like you said, certain films going, "Whew, that was either heavy," or stuff like that. What short form content does is actually take you through those emotions quicker, faster, and they just switch up constantly.
Yeah.
So you'll see something that annoys you, see something that makes you happy, and in doing that, I learned, well, this documentary and stuff, that it dysregulates your emotions. And by doing that constantly, all day, every day,
Completely
you
numb.
actually, what stuck with me is in the documentary it said, have you ever gone for a long scroll, which I used to do. I don't try not to do it now. And when you scroll in on, I used to do TikTok quite a lot. And afterwards you feel dysregulated. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'd have to put it down. I'd be emotionally just like, whew, like burnt out. And I think, Jesus, my brain. And that's what, it's doing to us.
That's
And studies show
terrifying,
that
isn't
it's like, it just deregulates your emotions. So I try now not to do short form. Every now and again, I installed Instagram the other day just to post a picture of my new dog.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
no,
exactly what Instagram is for, by the way. It's like
we've got to
dog.
say
It pulled me right.
congratulations to Leanne, who is expecting.
God, we're not doing this.
And the
She
dog
does
will be
this.
with
She
us
went,
very soon.
I'm with child. I mean, you're not. It's a dog. It's all good.
And
Yes.
congratulations on your new dog.
That's
He
exciting.
will be with
14
us
days, yeah.
14 days till the
New
planned
puppy,
birth.
yeah.
We will all
Um,
share pictures
Yeah.
after this.
I don't,
Yeah.
because I don't try not to go on social media at all now, but I installed Instagram just to put that on. And
Just
it
so people
sucked
know,
me back
you know what I
in.
mean?
I was
Yeah.
like,
Killer.
I have to throw my phone. I'm like, oh my God, if that's me at like 37, what is it doing to someone who's like 17, 12, 13?
Younger than that, it's like
Yeah.
I let Louis have watch a couple of Julia Donaldson films in bed with me yesterday morning whilst we were like just chilling before we went to the park. And I was like, right, I'm going to go in the shower while you watch the end of this one. And whilst I was in the shower for 5 minutes, he managed to navigate his way to YouTube.
Oh,
He's nearly 3.
That's terrifying.
He knows what the logo is.
Ju-
And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm watching Peppa Pig. And I was like, how? He just knows. Like, it's crazy.
yeah.
It is wild.
So
Just on the topic of like scrolling, sort of like the screen stuff, what do you think about things going vertical? Because a lot of people are talking about creating like vertical content now,
like film.
like film,
full
short
film in
films, series. Because people are doing like micro series as well, aren't they?
I think it's A, inevitable, and B, great for like
Yeah.
for that medium. Like there's we're not going to move away from that. People are going to watch stuff on their phones, so let's make
Yeah.
it like the best version of the
Yeah.
experience of that. And I actually think there's loads of really exciting storytelling coming through that stuff, like to tell short films, but even in like these short sketches and stuff, people are doing like an amazing work. They're telling stories. That's a really hard skill to be able
Yeah.
to tell stories
yeah.
like that. So I think I'm all for that, and I actually think it's a way of like democratizing the industry a bit, because it's a way to sort of learn your craft, showcase your voice, and then get known enough to maybe then go on to make a feature film for cinema. Like it's a way to
Yeah.
I guess also it's
launch
like it's
yourself.
accessible because all you need is a phone, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that. I don't think it's a bad thing. What I do think is that all should be able to exist at the same time, but also we need to find a way to make like, it's probably making cinema cheaper. We need to find a way to do that, because ultimately, if people stop going to the cinema and we all do everything on our phones and our TV, like cinema will die, and
Yeah.
that storytelling will people will be starting to go, well, we need a plot beat here to keep your attention span going, because everyone's got a 30-second attention span, and
Yeah.
suddenly
Yeah,
it
yeah.
starts to affect like storytelling. I
That
think it
yeah,
already is
that's
affecting
an
that.
important thing.
I heard Netflix has clauses within certain when you put. I heard it somewhere. Where the fuck? Where they'll say at the start of the film what's going on. They'll make it like obvious, and they'll have things in the script to keep reiterating a certain point for people's attention. I heard that somewhere on a podcast where they're talking about it, going, "Oh,
like
there's clauses
buy
like."
custard creams.
Well, no, not advertisement wise, just like
Right.
plot wise, where
Right.
it's
Oh,
like,
sorry. Yeah.
oh my God, I can't believe my so and so did that. And it's like sometimes it's jarring where people notice, oh, I wonder why they do that. And somebody in the industry was like, yeah, Netflix have some films that have this clause where they're trying to keep writing in obvious things that happens to keep reiterating a point.
Look, I'm like, I think that's partially true and partially not true. I think there's definitely things like Netflix know their audience very well because they have
All our
they have
data.
data.
Yeah.
right?
They have all
So
my
they-
data. Oh my God, how much data do they
They
have on me?
understand what works for their audiences and their like buckets of audiences, and we'll try and create things that service those audiences. And I think there's ways of doing that. Like, look, people think they're signing up to watch a police procedural, so let's put a police officer in the first 30 seconds so they know what it is. So there's things. I think there are things like that. However, Adolescence is the perfect example of like no algorithm would have told Netflix that was a good idea to make that.
Yeah.
It's a very,
True.
very specific British story that's really dark,
Me and Leah haven't got to
Really
episode.
heavy.
really
We
heavy.
haven't got to
Very
episode
heavy.
3 yet because after 2 we went, oh.
Oh, episode 3 is so good.
The third one's the best one.
Yeah.
I know, but
The
we
third
were
one's the
so.
best
I'm not saying it was
one,
bad.
dude.
I'm saying it was like so good that I was
Yeah.
like, my God, me and Leanne looked at each other and was like, we need a break after that
Yeah,
one.
it's
It was
tough.
so good.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I think it's,
What an
it's,
achievement.
it's
What
an
an
incredible
achievement
thing
as
that's
well.
been made. If you enjoyed that and then you're looking at other things this year, I watched. Have you seen Waiting for the Out?
Yes, it's
I
brilliant.
think that's sort of for me like an equivalent of that for this year, if that makes
I
sense.
agree. It's
that's
really
Waiting
special,
for the
that
Hour.
show.
yeah,
gotta
Waiting
write
for
that
the
down as well.
Out. I think there's a
BBC,
lot of
right?
stuff that's
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that are looking at the I guess like the relationships in masculinity and stuff at the
For
moment
sure.
that I find just really interesting, and it sort of has to be now because of what's happening on the internet and like the radicalization, especially of like young men and stuff,
Yeah.
but also just sort of how different generations play a part in it.
Yeah.
But Waiting for the Out's really, really interesting. It's beautifully shot.
It's beautifully shot. Josh
Beautifully
Fine,
shot.
the lead actor, is so good.
yeah,
in
the
that.
cast are incredible.
Yeah.
I have to check that out. I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, it's also semi-autobiographical or
I
autobiographical.
believe
of,
so.
yeah, of I can't remember his name.
And also the
But-
way he has ADHD, right, and how that like manifests is a really interesting portrayal of that. That I
Yeah.
haven't seen done so well before. I don't
Yeah.
think. That's
That-
BBC, I think.
Yeah, I think so, and it's sort of like obsession
Yeah.
with his cooker. It's really, really good. That's something that I think I've watched it like 3-4 times.
Have you? Oh,
Yeah, 'cause, like,
amazing.
I'll have like a little like nosy at something, and I'm like, I think it's something that I'd love all the men in my life to watch at
Yeah.
least once, because I'm like, they will, if they can't see themselves in a character, they will know a man who is one of them.
Yeah. And that's-
100%.
I
Even
mean-
though they're
For you,
incarcerated.
Fran, we will watch it.
Thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
My service is done.
Eyeballing
I
the
clock
men
off
through.
now.
We'll watch it.
Thank you,
It's
guys.
quite loudly said that. I would like all the
Yes.
men in my life to see this.
I got
Me and
more
Dave,
men than
we'll
just
put it on our list
you
to definitely
two.
watch it. But we are here. Yeah, we'll watch it. Yeah, for sure. Well, for sure. It sounds great.
But I think like that, and that's obviously BBC. We're paying a license fee to see that on screen. So I think they really have a remit, and like they owe audiences those sorts of stories. Where Netflix are like a business. It's ultimately
Yeah.
a business, isn't it? So they work slightly differently. But I do like my old boss is now head of film at Netflix, Ollie, and he is like a champion of film. Like Anne Mensah, who commissioned Adolescence, are like a big supporter of those stories. So that there's
Great.
people in those organizations who really care about storytelling. And I think they'll always try and manage that balance between like the algorithm and
And
pure story.
actual, yeah.
That being said, like I'm a big believer in the cinema. Like we will work with streamers. Everyone watches streamers. I watch things, and of course we do.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly my new job and at Film 4, that was a huge thing of like, we have to be putting things into the cinema that people will go and see because otherwise we'll lose them. So
Yeah.
things that are going to look amazing. You know, there's some stuff on Netflix that I'm like, God, I wish I'd seen that
In a cinema.
in a cinema.
Yeah.
You know, like Roma was a Netflix film, but that was one of, I don't know if you've seen Roma.
No.
But that's like, it's this beautiful black and white, like big sort of Mexican epic. It's one of the most beautiful things ever, should be seen on a big screen. And I think they did a release for it because it was quite an awardsy film, so they will dabble in it. But some things like needs to be seen on the big screen where you can't have your phone on. You need the sound. You need the sound to immerse yourself in it. Like you need to get lost in it. I think that's so important.
That is one thing I do miss about cinema, I must admit. Like, I wish I'd seen Oppenheimer at the cinema.
Yeah.
But again, it's circumstantial. My son had just been born,
Of
so
course,
I couldn't
of
go.
course.
It was like, I mean, I could have maybe found the time, but again, it's like, it's difficult, isn't it? So, but yeah, there are some things I'd be like, I see the benefits of cinema for sure. Like with certain films and certain.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have gone to see it if you didn't go see Barbie, but
Oh, you made a choice.
I'm just kidding you. I don't think you did.
Fran, excuse me, don't. Excuse me, they were both very important films. It was the revival of Hollywood, actually, and I just sat on the Barbie side because I was a little bit scared of the atom bomb.
And you're a Gosling fan.
Yeah, of course, yeah, and
You're a
I was there in
Gosling
my
fan, yeah.
I was there in my Ryan
I
Gosling
watched
t-shirt.
Oppenheimer in the cinema and Barbie in the cinema.
Yeah, me too.
Did
Same
you do
day.
Did you do Barbenheimer? That was the
No, I
thing,
didn't do
right?
that.
No,
I didn't do that. I love both films. Oppenheimer is going to take it for me because I'm a big fan of Nolan. So, and he's just
Actually, never seen either because Jess made me wait to watch Barbie and still hasn't watched it. So
You're still waiting.
still waiting. I've watched Oppenheimer because you weren't bothered about that one.
Oh, very well.
But
Yeah.
I think there's sometimes a thing in relationships as well where you like, I wait for the other person to watch it and then just never watch
And
it.
it never comes.
Did
And
you
then it
see
becomes-
that?
And then you die. And then I'll be there on my deathbed. I never watched Barbie.
Did you
Never watched Barbie.
You see that clip of that guy, you know, in the silent part of Oppenheimer where he farts in the cinema?
No.
Oh my! To be fair, I howled laughing. You know, it's got that countdown. And he's got his phone out. He knows it's coming. And he just rips one in the cinema. And
What were you
the
saying
whole
about full cinemas? Maybe I take that back.
This is what I
Maybe
mean.
don't
That's the
wanna-
dark
maybe
side of
I don't want
cinema.
the communal experience, actually, if that's what
Yeah, I
it
would have been there on
entails.
my own because I would have do that.
It was. I have to admit, I watched that clip. I was like, "Fucking hell!" If I was in that cinema, I'll be howling.
I'd be fuming, absolutely fuming.
You'll be fuming. You went, "Fucking!"
You've ruined
And
me.
it
You've
stinks.
ruined this for me.
And it stinks.
Yeah.
Famously, no windows in cinemas.
Yeah,
How do we escape-
famously,
this?
yeah. It's bad enough they smell of like those weird hot dogs sometimes and
Yeah.
nacho cheese and stuff. Anyway,
Anyway, it's a great experience for
Sorry.
the cinema. Let's
it
not
is. We
talk about
love
that.
the cinema.
Let's
No,
try and get back to
genuinely,
that.
we do love the cinema.
The smell of the
Yeah.
carpet's always nice. I know that's a weird one, but I like the
And
smell
I
of the
I
carpet.
like cinema carpets as a
Yeah.
visual aesthetic,
Mm.
you know, as a thing to look
the
at.
smell
too.
of that, the smell of the popcorn.
Yeah.
I think those are the ones where like you don't want to be on your own. The ones where you don't mind being on your own are probably the more modern ones where you're like, just a big old room, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's true.
Yeah, you want the older gaffs.
yeah, older gaffs full, new gaffs, nah. Fine.
Correct. Also,
New-
because the older gaffs are sometimes a bit haunted.
yeah,
They get a bit
yeah.
spooky, and I don't
So
mind
you just
that
need a bit
either.
of companionship to make
Yeah,
up.
just to survive the ghosts.
Yeah.
For years, right, my friend would make us walk first into the cinema, and I didn't know why. And I clocked on. After like probably about the 7th or 8th time going, I was like, "Why'd you get us to walk in?" And he finally admitted, he goes, "I'm just scared of walking into the cinema in the dark."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, what, really?" He
I
goes,
thought you were
"Yeah,
gonna
man,
say
you just
'cause-
need to."
I thought you were going to say because ghosts.
Yeah, me too. But he's just
No,
an
he just-
anxious chap.
Just
Yeah.
anxious to walk.
just anxiety.
Yeah, that's Tom actually.
Well, that's
Shout out Tom.
That's the biggest.
Oh.
That's the biggest ghost of all, really. Anxiety.
Whoa,
the
man.
biggest ghost of
That's
all.
deep.
Whoa.
Well,
What do you think's going to happen, dude? Because I don't know. It just
I
freaks
guess
me out.
It makes sense though, doesn't it? Because it's almost as if you're on stage. Like the only thing making you not facing out to the audience when you first go in a cinema is not being raised up. Like I
True.
feel
That's a
it
really
when I
good
go in.
point.
I'm like, ooh,
Good point. You are like
I'm
seen by
on
everybody.
show completely in this moment, and you're like, you can feel yourself being like, right, I'm gonna get up those stairs, get sat down, and then it's someone else's
What about
turn.
if you need a pee?
next time you go walking, you
During.
need to just wave at everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd wave back.
Yeah, I'd love that.
totally
I'd
wave
love
back.
that.
Do you get anxious
Yeah.
going for a pee like during? I sometimes pee in the middle, and I'm like, I'm gonna have
What?
to stand up in front of all these people and go for a quick pee, and that makes me anxious. I'm like, oh my god. So you're the one standing up because I can't control my bladder in the middle of this film.
I think I'd just go and wet myself.
We just what? Because you
If I-
wouldn't stand up.
If I
In a
needed
modern
to go,
cinema.
in the modern cinema, I'd probably just wet myself.
My films need to be 90 minutes. This is why we need to go back to
Yeah, 90 minutes. Let's get that back.
I have
please.
a terrible bladder, so I'm just constantly going to the toilet. But
Right, can we get back to Amy's career, please? Talk about our bladders.
I like that as a segue.
It's a little segue.
Sure.
Terrible bladder. Sorry. So,
sure, carry on.
so you
I've
went.
got an anxious bladder. That's where we got to. Sorry.
So you went back to E4. You went back to E4. You went back to Film 4.
I did.
Yeah, and that was like 20 minutes ago. We've gone a long way since then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my god, exactly. So went back to Film 4 this time in the sort of position I wanted to be, which was as a development and production exec.
Amazing.
So somebody working on scripts and like with talent, and much more close to the creative process, I
Yeah.
suppose, which is like where my degree came in and probably all of those things finally
Yeah.
gelled.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think. At a company that I loved and still love, and like you say, it's a brand that I trust, and I sort of believe in what the ethos of what they want to do.
Yeah, believe in their
So it was like-
output and
Yeah,
what they're
exactly
about.
that. And was
Yeah.
so proud to work at Film 4. And that's when I was working with more established talent, sort of bigger filmmakers, working on bigger projects. And through that time, I mean, interestingly, I worked with Warp a little bit. We had some things that they were doing. I knew them anyway because of the Sheffield
Because of the Sheffield contingent.
creative community.
Yeah.
And they're like amazing people. And I was like a big fangirl of the company.
Yeah, of course. Me too.
Of course,
Yeah.
they're kind of
You live in Sheffield. You just know what they're about. You know what they do. You know what they've done.
yeah.
Like,
And the
they're
legacy runs
amazing.
really, really deeply through like British cinema history,
Yeah.
I think, or certainly in terms of the last
even before Adolescence,
yeah.
their output was unbelievable.
Well, what's been really interesting in the first few months of this job is like realizing, because I walk into loads of rooms like, congratulations on Adolescence. I'm like, well, I had nothing to do with it, but thank you.
Yeah.
But also like, Dead Man Shoes comes up. Sean Penn's favorite British film is Dead Man Shoes.
Wow.
The amount of time that film comes up from actors, directors, writers, people
Yeah.
reference that so much.
Yeah.
But actually, when you think about Adolescence, it's very much like the end of the thread of everything Warp's done.
Yeah.
The themes that they're exploring in lots of ways, versions of masculinity for better or ill.
Yeah.
Like it's a culmination of like amazing long-standing relationships they've had with Stephen Graham and like Phil Barantini, who kind of came up through that world. Like it's all the things they've been doing.
It's the incredible nurture of that as well. That relationship with
Yeah.
Stephen Graham. It's testament to how good they are at what they do. That
Yeah.
he still works with them.
And our
And-
sound.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds so flippant, but let me tell you, like it's not. Because creative relationships are tricky. You'll know that you'll have like creative differences, I'm sure, or
all the time.
when you're not on the same page.
Yeah.
And when you're working in these like fast-paced creative environments, there's lots of partners involved. The bigger you get, the more money you get, the more complications you get.
Yeah.
All of these things. So you have to have like people that it's like a weird marriage. You have to be able to fight and get back on the same page and
Yeah.
see through it and be friends again. And that's like a constant thing. So that Mark and the Warp team have done that with Stephen and loads of people for 20, 30 years is an incredible
Yeah.
thing. And Adolescence is just the latest thing they did that, because it was on Netflix, meant
It's brought them to a different audience,
a
hasn't
different
it? For
level.
sure.
And I think
And of course the awards and
yeah,
the
what
accolades.
there's a Golden
love.
Globe in our office.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
absolutely mad that.
What a vibe.
My mum
Yeah.
and dad came to the office
Held
and
the
have both
globe.
got their picture with it,
Oh,
looking just
That's
so thrilled.
cute. I love
Like
that.
so thrilled. So they were buzzing. But
I love that.
it's just sort of it's not like they sold out and did something different.
No, they did what they've always done. It's just hit that
It's just hit
mainstream audience.
and hit a conversation that, like as you said, needs to happen, is needing to happen,
Yeah.
and felt very universal despite it being set on a small northern city about a boy.
It's ambitious as hell as a project. But I mean, one of my favorite films they ever did was Bunny and the Bull. And I think
that was film 4 too.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a few people have seen that.
Yeah.
But like not everyone that I speak to has seen
It's a bit
that.
of a deep cut, that one.
It
but
is a
yeah.
bit of a deep cut. It's just a bit of an odd film, but I
Yeah.
just loved it. It was a bit kitsch and twee and like odd.
Yeah.
and I just loved it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And they've done like people forget. They did Submarine and they did
I love Submarine.
Jamie and they did 71, which I think is one of the best British like thrillers we've got. They did all these different things. People do sometimes, think it is like Angry Men in South Yorkshire.
Yeah.
And
there's a weird
part of
documentary
that,
they did called like A Complete History of My Sexual Failures.
Yes.
By
oh
a guy
my
called
God.
Chris something. That was
Yeah.
like way back in the 2000s. And that's like one of the funniest documentaries I've ever watched. It's a guy basically, again, you talk about masculinity. It's a guy going around asking like all his ex-girlfriends why they dumped him and like asking his mum, like going through all his old love letters that he's got in the loft and being like, why do you think they all left me, mum? And like, it's a proper like,
My God.
yeah, it's like fragile masculinity
Where
in a
can I see that?
documentary.
That sounds incredible.
It's brilliant. It's I don't know. I watched it a long time ago. I might have it on DVD
It
somewhere.
might well be on Channel 4 on
OD.
Now back, well, it's now
Or
I'll find it.
Channel 4 online is what it's
Channel
called.
4.
It was 4D for a while. I think it's just Channel 4.
I'll
Yeah.
absolutely get that off you as
Online.
well.
It's-
Like the name of that after the pod.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really
that
interesting
sounds
film.
incredible.
It's a really
Also,
interesting
ghost
film.
stories. Obviously, that's just
Yeah.
theatre
Wow.
on and on, and because I went to see that in the theatre as well,
Oh, amazing.
and I found that terrifying.
yeah.
But I'd read the script before as well,
Oh, cool.
and like watched some of it online, and then I found it so scary just watching clips of it online that I never managed to watch the full thing.
Really?
And my mum didn't realise it was the same thing, so she booked us to go to the cinema, go to the theatre rather, to go and see Ghost Story. And I was I realised what it was just before the interval, and I was like,
Uh-oh.
there's a twist,
Oh,
but I can't
no.
tell you what it is. I was like, but I am going to close my eyes every now and again.
Did you?
Yeah, because it's so scary.
So like
so
warped
scary, but
horror,
so
warped,
good.
Like
Yeah.
there's all these different
Yeah.
threads to the bow. Threads is an operative word. 'Cause
Threads.
That's exciting. But I always kind of make that point that like Adolescence is just the thing they did last. That
Yeah.
has made them
Yeah.
it's like they put them on the world stage, I suppose. Whereas they were certainly big on the UK
Oh,
and European scene.
Yeah,
but like,
definitely.
It's kind of opened doors, I think.
And just
That's
like
exciting.
it's lovely to see as well as I guess as a fan of their stuff, fan of their output for like however many years, and I guess also probably because of the Sheffield connection or whatever.
Of course.
It feels like that's like one of our own kind of thing. It's like
Yeah.
that watching them do these amazing things and like getting the accolades and plaudits that you know that they've deserved for so long for so many of their other projects that haven't just had that exposure or whatever, and maybe the chance now that people will discover all their
Absolutely.
other stuff that they've made. Like maybe there'll be people in America that will watch Dead Man's Shoes for the first time
Yeah.
and go back and be like, fuck, that's insane that they made that kind of thing.
And it's,
So-
it's like 20 years from the film of This Is England next year. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
that's a mad thing. So, and think of all the, because what's been really lovely for me is to be going out with like my warp hat on, as it were,
Yeah.
and like the love for the company like really runs deep, which is,
Yeah, definitely.
everywhere. People like have so much love for it. But then you think about who came up through Warp, and it's like Stephen Graham, obviously Vicky McClure, but like Jack O'Connell,
Yeah.
Olivia Colman
Jack
was in
O'Connell, man,
Tyrannosaur.
yeah.
Think of all the
Yeah.
amazing talent they've worked with who are now huge, and it's like that was them and Mark.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
it. That yeah,
Monty
and the eye for that kind of in the same way that you were saying about like Northern talent, like picking out people, even unknowns.
yeah,
That's what they've done with actors and
Riz Ahmed
Tom-
in Four Lions.
yes.
you know.
Oh my god. Yeah, I
like
think
nobody else would have made Four Lions.
Four Lions is such a daring film.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to this day. I
Yeah.
love that film.
I'm not sure it would get made now.
I've got
know.
a signed original film poster of that,
Have
which I
you?
won in a competition.
That's cool.
I've still got it. It's one of my most not prized possessions, but like I really love that. Like that's real,
Oh, I love
like
that.
special.
You know, people do Letterboxd for.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Riz Ahmed, he can't. I mean, it's amazing. He can't stop talking about Four Lions. Every time he's on a red carpet, he seems to bring it up because he's
Yeah.
like, it's a thing that people seem to talk to him most about, or like, are you going to do another Four Lions? He's like, they all died, mate. Like, what?
Yeah, yeah,
They'll do
yeah.
themselves up.
What's the
There's not gonna be a
sequel?
sequel to
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but,
yeah.
He was on the red carpet for something the other day, and he was talking about it, and like his love for it runs quite deep. And I just think that's that's an amazing thing because it was a risky film.
Yes, definitely.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's what we want to do. That's what we want to keep doing is taking risks.
So your move from Film 4 to Warp happened relatively recently.
I started in January. of this
Amazing.
year.
Amazing.
So I left Film 4 in December.
And were you down in London for Film 4 as well? Or traveling
so
between?
I was two or 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So I was sort of staying very, very luckily had pals I could stay with. But
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to walk to my office now. But
Oh, amazing.
I like love Film 4 and I'm hopefully setting up many projects with them with my new hat on, which is a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
But now I can walk to my office.
That's it.
Which is so nice, and take the dog into the office.
And
which is great.
for me, like the exciting thing is like you've got all this great experience. You've been nurtured by these incredible people that have gone on to have these, also amazing careers further ahead. But you've now gone, I'm gonna do this in Sheffield, and you're somebody of your caliber within the industry. Being in Sheffield and being part of Warp is like dead exciting for me to see.
Like
so
it's
it's like that's good for Sheffield as well as the city, and like for things that are being made here.
Yes.
And like around here and
there is, I
by the
think,
team.
At Film 4, but I know BBC, like all those people I just said that I came up with. Now I'm like, oh, I get to work with Eva at BBC now, which I couldn't before. And all these people that I can like, those relationships that you forge early on, as long as you're again like a decent person and sort of be polite and curious and keep up contact, like they'll come back. So I'm really excited to work with those people again. But there is definitely
what do they call it in a pub when it's like you can suddenly serve like all the booze you want? You're not like tied to a brewery anymore. You can be you're like free, you're like freehold filmmaking because you can just link with everybody that you've ever worked with, and
which is so exciting for me. I'm also sort of shitting myself.
It's well exciting.
But it's good. It's like good nerves. It's like rise to the challenge of the thing, which is exciting. But people want regional. Certainly, Channel 4 and BBC and BFI have an impetus to like be working with them.
Yeah.
And Warp is one of the most established production companies in the country and happens to be in Sheffield, or
it's
just
born happens to be
born of Sheffield.
Yeah,
but like
of course.
That's an amazing thing. So there is a kind of a flow to us as well as us taking projects out. People want to work with us, which is a really good position to be in.
Great.
So like I just need to maximize on all the brilliant work the team have already been doing.
Yeah.
But they've been quite TV focused for the last 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, let's now do the same and supercharge the film slate.
Come on. That's exciting.
It is.
So,
but I'm scared.
Yeah.
Is it an accent?
Of
Is it
course,
an accent
I'm
when I say
scared.
something vulnerable? I'm scared.
But I know the answer to this is probably can't talk about like loads, but have you got any exciting projects on the horizon that you want to talk about?
Well,
with what?
The funny full circle thing is Threads. So me and you met at the club night Threads, which is named after the TV movie Threads
from the 80s.
I think it's maybe like 79. I think it was the 40th year anniversary recently.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Threads, it is an incredible piece of work. It's so hard to recommend.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when do you pop that on? It's a film about around like kind of the Cold War, if a nuclear bomb had been dropped on Sheffield city centre, and then the like build up the impact and kind of fall out of that.
The parking warden.
I mean,
that is
an image that's seared into your brain.
Yeah. We watched it in RE. We watched it in religious education.
How old?
13, 14. Year 8. We were in year 8. We watched that.
That's shocking.
Our teacher showed us the film. VHS tape, one telly in the corner.
Were you all like hiding under your desk?
I think it was in the kind of context of like, why religion is important to maintain like structure and like decency in the world. Because if you get to a point of like, not complete godlessness, but like humanity is quite an evil thing.
Generally.
So, and I think it was like, that's how our teacher framed it.
Okay.
But I think it was also like, she just wanted to watch the film and like terrify us a bit.
Yeah.
But it's a stunning piece of work.
But one of the most harrowing things you'll ever watch.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think there's like a horror film.
No.
Or any kind of genre film that's trying to scare you that has left a mark on me in the way that like Threads has. Because it's existential, isn't it?
When did you first see it?
I watched it at uni. I did this module at Sheffield University, and the shout out to David Forrest, who's this brilliant lecturer
Yeah.
at Sheffield Uni, and a guy called Brendan who did this thing called Storying Sheffield that was about working with community and stories coming from the place,
Right.
which is a really special, weird module that I don't think runs anymore. And he was very creative. But anyway, David's like a big advocate for Threads, and we watched it because I DJ'd at the club night called Threads, which is named after it, but I
Yeah.
actually don't know if I'd seen it when I started DJing there.
Yeah.
And I came to it quite late.
The tagline at Threads, the club night, was "Dance before we die"
Yeah,
as well. So it was like it almost added that level of, if this is the last night on Earth, let's dance before we die.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite things in the world. Is like the end.
Yeah.
Like my tattoo that it says
Yeah.
the end is from The Sound of Music, but I'm also like I'm a bit obsessed with like the apocalypse, because the question it asks of you all is like, what would you do?
Yeah.
One of my favorite books is called On the Beach by Neville Shute, and that's as if a nuclear bomb had like dropped, and then there's people in Australia who are just like it's gonna get them, like they know it's gonna come, like the end of the world is coming, but
Yeah.
it's just not hit them yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, how does everyone respond in the last? They think they might have 3 months, they might have 6 months, and how do people act? I just love those questions. They're like, what if of it, and what that means for human nature, and like that's
Definitely.
what Threads explores, and then everyone dies.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
That's not a spoiler. I mean, it's like the
No.
nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So,
all that to say, Warp have got the option to remake Threads.
which is, that's really special.
And that's Mark Herbert, who's one of the amazing founders and producers at Warp. It's like that's like his baby. Like he's a huge fan of it. You know, he's from here. He loves
Yeah.
the film. So it's like, that's a big deal for us. So we're just starting to kind of build out what that would be. I can't talk about it, but it's like
Yeah.
very, very exciting.
That's on the table. That's like, there's some ideas going in here.
Yeah.
There's
The train has started to leave the station a little in terms of who's going to be a part of it, and
goodness me, that's exciting.
If you need any extras just to be laying on the floor dead.
everybody is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I want
Yes,
to be the person who pisses himself on
please.
Fargate, and I want to be the person who
I just want to be in the back laying down dead.
I'm sure we can
blown
arrange
to
that.
bits.
Yeah.
I'll take it. You've been speaking about like how like executives and all these jobs and things like that, and I've been ticking my brain over. Then you talked about Stephen Graham. I'm like, I think being an actor, whilst how hard it is, I think it's a perfect job for. I'd love to do that. You're in, you
Yeah.
do your part, you get out, and you move on to something else.
Although some people can't. It depends. I mean, I think
It's always
like,
a new challenge, yeah.
essentially, yes, you can do that. But
I know. In my head, I'm
you
like,
know,
I
if
can
you
do that.
think of like, there's some roles I'm sure you can turn up at 9 o'clock and leave at 5 and sort of switch off. But I do think there's somewhere, if you're a really good actor or it's a really tough subject matter, you must internalize some of it. And actually, like, you go home and you're like, I was a horrible serial killer.
Oh, I need therapy now.
I think there's some of those where it's,
My
yeah.
fiance
Tough.
takes the piss out of me because she can't watch them. But I love actors round tables on
oh,
YouTube
do you? Yeah.
where they're all sat down. Like Leanne goes, it's so obnoxious. Like look at them, and they're all kind of mostly American. There's some English ones on there, and they're like Leanne can't do it. I love it. I don't know what it is. It's just these. I mean, I think some of them are quite arrogant, but like they love their craft.
Yeah.
And they're just talking about it. Like, and some of them get like method acting like deep into it, and they talk
Yeah.
about like their experiences, how they were a different person for like years. And it's just, I was like, oh, that sounds incredible. I'm a big Daniel Day-Lewis fan. I think,
he's
you
the-
know, he's probably one of the
goat,
perfect.
isn't
He's the
that?
goat.
Yeah.
The
I love
goat
that he
of,
gets in, gets out. You don't
character
really hear
acting.
from him for a while.
Yeah, but then he goes full, like he became
Method.
like a shoemaker for like he goes
Yes.
and does all of the things.
Yes.
that-
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Gesturing here, he's a shoemaker. He like really goes to town on his preparation.
Yes.
I
yeah.
think. And you know, it's been such a like this is not a name drop, but obviously just getting to know Stephen a bit because we have a project.
Steven's another great.
He's
just
one of
insane.
the best of
Yeah.
you know best British actors ever. I would argue.
Yes.
What a like.
I'd seconded
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane.
without
actor.
question.
What a delightful man. What a lovely, generous.
Used to live near
Wonderful
Leicester, and my cousin worked in the Blockbuster in Colville, and she knew Stephen and his wife very well because he used to come in back in the days of physical media.
I
Before
miss Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, me
R.I.P..
too. That was like a
R.I.P.,
Friday
man.
night.
Yeah, and
Go
getting
get
to.
your
I'd love to bring it back in many ways, like just to the point, just for the audacity of doing it. I suppose many bands and artists and stuff are doing that by releasing tapes and vinyl
yeah,
and all
there is
that.
a kind of going back to physical
So,
media thing that's
yeah.
happening, isn't
I
there?
don't know if that's happening with film. Maybe not as much, but
And the bargain bin. Like you used to get
Yeah.
80s.
oh my
like
God, so
What
me and my
Yeah.
friends just used to pull out 80s films. Like, what's this?
That's the sort of thing you probably would have pulled like a Threads DVD out of, and then
Yeah.
been really upset.
I've put it on. I've got so much. I've got an IMDb list that I had to watch list over. I've got it all. Like I'm gonna watch Threads because it looks insane.
I think we should create a film streaming platform that's like
One and done.
emulates that bargain bin thing.
That's a fun idea.
So like have the blockbuster films, these are the charting films, but then you've got the bargain bin.
The bargain bin straight
you
to
spin
DVD
you spin
release.
a wheel, you don't know what you're gonna get. It's an 80s horror film.
Never went
Yeah.
in the cinema. Straight to DVD. There was some
Yeah,
gold
but
in
there'll be
there.
there'll be some gems.
There
in
are
there.
some gems.
If
They're
anyone
so
from
bad that
Netflix is
they're
listening,
good.
by the way, you heard it here first.
Yeah. Isn't that what like Love Film used to be?
Yeah, well, a little bit. You used to just get like
Netflix, yeah.
something through.
Oh my God, love film.
The
Yeah,
post,
I
right?
forgot about that.
Sometimes you could
Yeah.
be like miscellaneous, and you would just get a
Just-
thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
That's quite exciting.
That is quite exciting. They don't really have that
Discovery.
anymore, do they? Do they?
Yeah.
Well, they.
Well, with streaming, you sport for choice.
Yeah, there's
It's
too
almost
much.
overwhelming.
It'd be nice
like-
actually just to have a button on Netflix. It's like surprise me, ding dong, and then just something comes on.
But I mean, look, now we're going to get like deep again, because that would be a brilliant thing. But would you, if in the first 5 minutes
Oh,
it like doesn't quite capture your attention, or it's like, oh, I didn't think I was going to watch this. It's now you just turn it off because you've got 1,000 other
well, my
movies to
attention is
watch.
shot.
That's
to be
the
fair.
thing.
I've been testing myself by watching Sopranos.
You have other options.
Yeah,
Whereas
whereas
back in the day
before-
before streaming,
Yeah,
even like for me, a big gamer, I used to hire games. I used to
Yeah.
I have to get through this game within 2 weeks because it's going back.
Yeah.
I
so
think.
you didn't have the choice and you enjoyed it.
Well, the button's going to have
Liked
to
it.
lock off the rest of Netflix for the day.
Yeah.
I think
it's
if you
gotta be
hit-
a
maybe,
mechanism.
yeah.
I think if you hit
yeah.
that big red button, you're like, this is your
This is
entertainment
it.
for the night. It's going to be a film. It's going to be around this length or whatever.
Lock
You
in.
probably get back to the 90 minutes. You got a 90-minute film or around there,
Yeah.
and this is it. Netflix is locked off until tomorrow now. That's it.
That's what you
I
want.
do think you've just become Netflix's biggest nemesis, Jim. Like, I think they might press the Threads big red button
Yeah, I don't
after
think-
hearing
Yeah.
that.
I don't
They're just
think
like,
they
get rid
would-
of Sheffield.
I don't think
Get
they
rid of
would
Sheffield
do
now
that.
if that's
yeah.
what's going to happen.
I don't think they would do that, but it would be nice. You dare to dream. Do you know what I mean?
The art of discovery is lost, is what we're saying. In a way,
Yes.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
committing to something,
Yeah.
and like you were saying about the attention thing, like I think it's so important to like have a little time to process stuff.
Yeah.
And I think you get that in the cinema because you sit for a minute while the lights are still down and you have a second. Whereas on TV, you're like, oh well, I'll pick up my phone or I'll go make
Yeah.
a brew or I'll do whatever. And I think, like to your point about emotion stuff, I remember I watched Melancholia in the cinema. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
And that's another end of the worldy thing. And the end of that is so impactful in many ways, but like powerful. I remember just being sat in the cinema for like 10 minutes
At the end.
at the end,
After
even
the
once
lights
the
have
credits
gone up.
gone, and just
Yeah.
being like, oh, like what have I just? It like hit me like a gut punch.
The staff are in like sweeping up popcorn
Yeah,
around you kind of thing, and you're like
leave
that.
me alone. Whereas I think
And
if
processing.
I'm processing and like,
Yeah.
and I still think about that film now because of that. Whereas I think if I'd watch it at home, would you like to watch the next movie?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
saying that
So
I'm
you were
not.
always interrupted. The
Yeah.
credits never run in full. Yeah.
Just let yourself think more deeply about things. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm saying all this. I have the same attention span as everyone else. I'm not
But it,
high and mighty. I'm just like I'm longing for it in the same way I think we all are.
I've had a recent thing where I basically refuse to throw away all my DVDs, and it's not because I'm like a hoarder. It's just because they mean a lot to me,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I like that medium. I like putting a film on and watching it like properly full.
If you'd asked me
in a
5 years
physical
ago
way.
if that was good, I would have said no, get rid of it. But now, I'm
Yeah.
like, absolute. Like Leanne,
They're
has
all in the loft,
hoarded,
but they're there. They're still there.
Leanne has hoarded DVDs, and she was going through them the other day, and she pulled out CKY 2K
Yeah, unbelievable.
from a like Skate 8,
Great.
Bam, old school Bam Margera. I was like, oh my, that's my childhood. She's like, do you want to watch? I was like, we need to get a DVD player.
But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. 'Cause if
Yeah.
it gets taken off a streaming platform now, the stuff you won't be able to see
gone.
anywhere.
Yeah,
else.
it's gone.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can change your attention span as well. I genuinely believe that. I'm a sucker for it. I'll get
Yeah.
reeled in. I throw my phone away. That's why I've turned it into a dumb phone. I think we need to go back. I think it's so important. Just sit and watch a film. Just do it. Even if you're not
Yeah.
like 100% into it, like at least get through it and then have an opinion.
To an extent, for sure.
Yeah,
Go back.
unless you really hate it.
I think it is changing a bit because I don't know if it's just the people I happen to have met in the last couple of months, but I've met quite a few people who seem very keen on owning their films, like owning
Nice.
owning the physical version of it, because of what you've just said in terms of like they can take that away,
Yeah.
and unless you know of somewhere else in the internet to find it, that's sort of that
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
And you can't then, show someone else that, or share that information, share that knowledge, share that like emotional connection that can
Yeah.
come with it.
Yeah.
And it does make, I think owning stuff is quite a nice thing. I still like to, I don't know if you do it very much anymore, but if you are sitting down to watch a film at home, still like to turn the big light off.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like-
watching it
Yeah,
dark.
absolutely.
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
it.
yeah.
The movie
And I
experience.
worry that
The
people will
movie
stop
experience.
turning the big light off to watch films.
I don't
That's
think people
my
should be sat with
fear.
the big light on anyway.
No,
That's
no,
my- that's my
God,
hot
no.
take.
Psychopaths. Dangerous. Thank you so much for coming in today, mate. I'm before you go, I do want to pitch you a couple of quick fire pitches.
Go on then.
First one,
I'm terrified.
the Deliveroo killer. It is a Deliveroo driver that is going around killing people.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a level of threat and danger to that one.
Is it a horror?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
pitched these to me, and I'm like,
I pitched it to you because I thought it was great. I thought it was great because it ties in like the modern with the
The gig economy.
yeah,
What's his motivation? Why is he doing
Well,
it?
he's a Deliveroo driver. He's got no money. But he's like, could just go around slowly poisoning people.
But what is his fatal flaw? Because there's lots of Deliveroo drivers who don't do that. So we need to know what it is in him that snapped.
I take that as good feedback, and we can work on that. There was
Workshop it. We'll workshop it.
also a point where I was a big fat blob man in a bed with tiny sunglass eyes, and I was ordering him to do it. Do you remember us talking about this?
Vaguely, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Now
ordered a
now
hit
it's
on
talking.
yourself.
I had to eat a lot of pies for this role and like put on like more weight, and then I was there like completely bald, no hair, with the sunglasses not the sunglasses, but like the little protective glasses you put on when you're on a sunbed. And I was ordering this guy to do things and manipulating
It's so
him.
surreal, like
in a weird
as a
way.
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, we need to work on that one. And then the other one was
Why don't you pitch one your actual ones, which is quite good, which I thought was the one based around.
the find a penny, pick it up.
Because he wants to keep his best story for the real deal.
Yeah, come on. Can't give away
Oh,
all
right,
the good
you
stuff.
meme it.
Can't give away all the good stuff. And then there was also find a penny, pick it up. Whereas a guy goes around dropping like, like the poison pennies, like where they sprayed like the poison on the door handle, but like 1 penny. Oh, find a penny, pick it up, and they pick it up and they're like, oh, it's Novichok.
The perfect crime.
Yeah, and it's a serial killer, but the police have to find it. It's a thriller series, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
I could see
Is
Stephen
it
Gray.
like
I could see
4
Stephen
to
Gray a
6
minute.
parter or returning?
4 to 6 part, and maybe it might go to ITV. This one, I
Yeah,
think.
okay.
Find a penny, pick it up, and then Stephen Graham's in it. I can't fucking find him. Can you see that? Because you
Absolutely, mate,
wrote
yeah.
that one off straight away. You were like, nah, people don't pick up pennies anymore.
I'm seeing it as like a spy drama as well as
Could be.
horror. I feel like it's definitely. I mean, you've said Novichok now, and I feel like most people don't have it in their arsenal. So
Yeah,
Well,
I'm saying
you've taken
spy
a little
drama.
political there, haven't you?
Well,
with
maybe,
that?
yeah. Sorry. Well, that was just the. It doesn't have to be that. It could be anything that
It is a clever
poisonous.
crime, though.
Yeah.
And people like puzzle piece dramas where they have to like unpick what's happening. So you've got something there about
just
like,
But
kind
whodunit
of
kind of
like
thing.
yeah.
felt like the audience for me. I'm thinking like 45 plus, maybe like people that watch TV in the evening, and I'm thinking like, I just like the find a penny, pick it up, ... I don't know. It sort of draws you in. I can see it's a bit ITV.
Are we following the police or the killer?
Oh, that we're working with the police. We don't know who the killer is.
Right, so that is
It's a mystery.
okay.
What happened to this man? He's holding a penny. It's a bit like the Da Vinci Code. He's holding a penny. What's going on here?
really,
Exactly like
really,
the
really
Vinci Code.
spook the people away from picking that penny
There's
up.
people in this
Just
country,
pennies
Amy,
everywhere.
that we'd be begging to have an opportunity to pitch films to you, and I'm sat here going,
Yeah. You're just,
find a penny, pick it up. Reckon good pitch.
I tried
Um,
really hard to be like ask a genuine question about it because there could be something in it.
No, there's not. There's not. No, they're just nonsense.
can you talk about some of the worst pitches that you've had? Like, genuinely, you don't have to name anybody, but you'd be like, oh, there
Yeah,
was
I've
this
got these
one
things
idea.
to do. Oh man, I mean, there's so many.
There's got to be one that stands out. You're like, what?
I mean, those two were pretty bad.
Yeah, there's so many in this room tonight.
Have you had any like creepy approaches
Oh
with
shit!
it? Because I feel like that must be something that happens if someone's trying to.
You'd have to talk about
People-
this room tonight, Amy. Yeah.
Yeah. Why was I invited here? Why is there a ticking clock? And can I get out that door? Is the question.
There is actually a ticking clock.
Rather.
In front of me. There's one thing. I mean, people. I always try and genuinely quite a positive person, but certainly, people are very passionate about getting projects made. Right? People believe their story should be told, and if you are a person in a position to make that happen, people want to speak to you. And sometimes, all social boundaries are crossed in terms of people will. I would go to events and people would just stand on my shoulder. I'd be having a conversation with someone and just stand waiting to get in. People send you weird letters of manuscripts they've written that have additional things in, and it's it can be a little weird.
Yeah.
And this is my story, it needs to be told, and you're no,
You ever any
shouldn't.
You had any good bungs?
What's a bung?
Like cash in an envelope with a
Oh
script.
no, I mean,
There's 500 quid with that script there.
I wish.
Maybe that one gets that one read, eh? Not
Straight
yet.
to the top of the pile, yeah.
Not
I've
yet.
got
Wait
dished
till
out
I've
my office address just in case.
Wait till I've got
can't.
that find a penny done, mate. I'll be raiding the savings account.
Yeah, but you'd put a penny in the envelope, and I'd be like, wait a minute.
Hold on a
Oh,
second.
twist.
This is a concept piece.
Plot twist.
I can't even handle people in the co-op queue getting close to me. So somebody's just there
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
talking
someone
about their
shoulders to
idea.
shoulder
I'm
with
like,
you.
hey, dude.
And I always understand it to a point, but you're always like, I'm actually just in the middle of a conversation here. Can you just,
Yeah.
But
All
people,
social cues, man.
I believe it's passion. It's coming from wanting to get the thing made. So I get it.
Yeah.
That's very nice of you. Yeah, yeah.
Very, very
It's
different. Very
lovely,
diplomatic.
yeah.
Amy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in and giving us so much of
Ah.
your time. Where can people find you and,
Oh, can I
and
ask my
find
question?
Yeah.
Yes, of course you can.
You know what question is?
It is. Yeah.
So-
Sorry,
Meal deal.
I do know what question it is, Dave.
It's meal deal. It's meal deal question. What's your meal deal? Well, I ask every guest.
What's my meal? Like a Boots meal deal?
Any
Yeah.
meal deal you can choose.
Historically,
anywhere.
again,
Crisp drink and a
I've
sandwich, I guess.
I was a vegetarian for a long time, but I've actually gone back to chicken. Went back to chicken, and my first chicken meal was I went to see Gladiator at Centertainment. Then went for Nando's, and that was the first time I'd eaten chicken in 10 years.
Nice.
So that was a great day. Anyway, chicken stuffing sandwich,
Very good.
salt and vinegar crisps, Diet Coke.
Very nice.
Can of Diet Coke or bottle?
Can
Thank
does
you.
not taste
Thank
right out
you.
of a bottle.
Thank you. Can every day.
What Chris did you say again?
Salt and vinegar.
Any particular Walkers?
If
or...
there was a McCoy's crinkle, I would have that. And sometimes I then like to put it in the sandwich and press the sandwich down.
Oof.
So there's a crispy texture in my sandwich.
Oof.
And Diet Cokes, if I've had a long day, if I'm trying to be healthy, I'd get a juice.
Diet over zero.
Yeah, I think Diet Coke tastes better than zero.
Fair.
I
Tastes
agree with you on
different.
that.
Yeah, I think it's better.
I don't have many notes on that. What do you reckon? What do you give that out of 10?
You've picked my drink, my sandwich perfectly because I always go for chicken and stuffing.
Do you?
Always, either that or
Very
bacon
nice.
and chicken. Or the Coke, no though.
No, what would
The
you
crisp,
have?
great. Oh, full fat Coca-Cola in a
Ah, I
bottle.
see.
Boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
37 grams of sugar in one
Just
can.
in me. Inject that in me.
That's just
Yeah.
me on a hangy, that.
Have you tried any crisps in your sandwiches yet?
Not
Dave?
yet,
'Cause I was trying to convert him,
Oh, it's a delicious
and I
I've
was
never-
like, it
I've
really
never
adds
done it.
the
Never had a
texture.
crisp
in
Never had a
it.
You
crisp
never had a
sandwich.
sandwich?
Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy.
Like I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah.
What?
You've never had a crisp sandwich. I mean, that's a documentary.
That's the best
There you
bit of
go.
the day.
Dave's first crisp sandwich.
Never had a crisp sandwich. This man has never had a crisp
My journey
sandwich.
is just a documentary. about
journey.
it.
Then
Jenny.
you go back to the first crisp sandwich,
Yeah.
and then you go to the origin of the crisp
The origin of
sandwich,
the
and we
crisp
track
sandwich.
it through to you, and then you tasting one.
That's
is
the ending, right?
Yeah.
That's the
There
boom.
you go.
Is that the ending
Beautiful.
or is like the middle? Then I go on to discover. Then it takes a horrible.
And at some
turn.
point, can you pick up a penny, if possible, just for me?
You drive
just,
around as a delivery
just one
driver.
shot. Just one shot. Anyway, Amy, where can people find you or your work and follow what you're up to?
I think the Warp website is probably the best place to go to just Warp Films. I am on social media under Amy Rosanna O'Hara. Should you wish
Wish
to,
to.
don't slide into my DMs and try and pitch me a film through that though, because I won't reply. Mostly because I just don't check my Instagram messages that much, but that is not the right and proper way to contact me.
I would laugh
Night-
if you
nightmare.
instantly did that.
Nightmare.
Like just as she's got out
You're
the
like,
door.
just-
this is, well, this
going
is
up.
my opportunity, was it? This is my big golden opportunity, and that was it. Upload it on that.
And your
Upload
last
it on
minute
Find a
crisp
Penny and
sandwich.
Delivery Killer. I pulled it back with that. The
Pulled it back,
documentary, that could be
yeah.
great, that.
I think that's got Walk Films written all over that one.
My first ever
Just-
crisp sandwich.
Just all your DMs filled in with like just slightly out of focus photos of
Yeah.
pennies. You're just like, what is?
Well, do you know
It always
what?
has to
Like,
be on like a white surface and like fluorescent light, but slightly out of focus for you to know that.
I'm sorry
They've
for fans
really
of
lost
Threads,
it.
but the plans have gone off the table for that. There's a crisp sandwich and a Deliveroo Killer and a Find a Penny to be made.
I've just
so.
upended the whole slate for this pitch. So thank you for that.
Mate,
Those
thank you
ideas.
so much for your time. Thanks for coming in. It's been wonderful to speak to you. Anybody that listens regularly will maybe know we're going to take a short break for the entirety of May. We're going to have a little reset. So this is our last episode for a few weeks. We will be back in June with a slightly new format. So do stick around and come and see us when that happens in June. Thanks to Amy, thanks to Fran, thanks to Dave. For the very last time, possibly, circle back
Talk about next week.
next week.
We'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.